No one will be safe. Hey, yo. Big catch already. Let's go. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I should also be fishing. I'm such a fool. Casey with the big first from downtown. Let's fucking go. How's it going, homie? How's the Palkia hunt been? One shopping cart? Fuck yeah. Don't worry, that's to put the rest of the fish in that I'm gonna get through the stream. We're planning ahead. 5 head. Daisy with the big second. Luffy somehow here first and prioritizing fishing over the first. Honestly, I respect it. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Daisy fishing as well. Let's see how the day starts. One nuggy. Let's go. That's free dinner. Yeah, fished up a snack. Well done, well done. Very cool. Oh my god, it works. He's just gonna walk in, rip ass, and start fishing again. What a fucking entrance. What's good, homie? And a big fucking traffic cone. Let's go. Hey, would y'all stop throwing your fucking trash in my lorry? I'd appreciate it. I'm trying to fish with my face out here. Y'all disrespecting this place? The bear is in fact live this early. I have today off and I don't have D&D today. I can do whatever the flip I want. And by that I mean I played Ultimate Chicken Horse with some homies and then went and took Panda to the park so she could play for a while. It was a good time. You doing some Donkey Kong, dude? Playing Bonanza? How's that been? Actually been fun. It looks really good. I think it's from the same team that did, not Super Mario Galaxy, Odyssey. They knew what they had and they ran with it. Oh yeah, it looks like a blast. Like the movement and everything is super clean. Ain't nothing wrong with it. If you enjoy Big Monkey more, you enjoy Big Monkey more. It'd be like that. Okay. Let's take you guys over here. Going for a ride. So for those of you who do not know, this is a game that our dear friend Luffy told me about a while ago that I've been seeing a lot of people playing recently called Demon Bluff. It's currently free on Steam in a playtest. So this is early access. Fuck Baker's a drunk. I've hit so many drunks, you have no idea. What's up, Gunner? It's because Odyssey kind of depends on some movement. The Joy-Cons, well, yeah, Joy-Cons are not the most dependable. I haven't had too much trouble with Bakers, but I know I'm going to. But yeah, this is a little single-player deduction game on finding the evil cards amongst cards of you know, not evil villagers. So let's just see how we do. Two evils among all characters, among us, if you will. But yeah, I've been seeing friends stream this. I know Avalon in my Discord brought this game up. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Everybody is like talking about this. Let's check this out. And I played it for like 4 hours straight last night. It's rad. It's so good. A Mogus. More fish. Okay, so what do we got? Counselor. Got Ba. Ba's gonna get rid of one of these. So let's see what we hit. We can reveal everything because there's no witch. Okay, Ba got rid of the Bombardier, right? Drunk is the worst. I hate him. I love the drunk, but God, I've killed him so many times. Dude, my friendly neighborhood is actually fucking kind of terrifying low-key in some parts. I have watched a playthrough of that. I don't know if I've seen like every ending or anything, but the game is solid. It's well made. Alright, so let's see. Obviously, some of you are lying. Is there any corruption going around? No, no one is corrupt. So if someone's lying, they're just fucking evil. Let your buddy played a bit of the demo. Yeah. Very good. Nobody's corrupted, which means I can safely try this. Okay. So you're good. You're real. Two evils adjacent to me. That means you're fucking lying. Hey, get out of here. One is evil, 5, 8, or 6. Hey, are they lying? 4 is lying. Okay, you're clean. I think 7's probably the doppelganger, then I think it has to be. Well, hold on. We do have 2 judges as well. So 7 could be the counselor and the other judge is the doppelganger. Huh. I wonder if the knight is actually a doppelganger, if it gets the ability of not dying when you hit it. 2 evils adjacent to me. That is not true. So they're lying, which means you're lying. But that means the counselor should be sitting next to an outcast. If the council are sitting next to an outcast, that would mean that the doppelganger is one of these two. That means that the doppelganger is actually this knight. Which is weird because we tried to kill it. And it didn't die. Well, hard 50-50. Wait a minute. Hold on, let's slow down. You said 5 is good. 1, 5, 8, or 6 is evil. 5 and 8 are queen. 6 is evil, so you're good. Or registers as evil. But yeah, the general gist. All of these cards have different abilities that they give you. So, the Gem Crafter, you'll learn one good character. Knights can't die. Real knights anyway. But if they have little extra rules, like if they're corrupted by a different thing in play, and you try to kill them, it will deal much more damage to you. So that's dangerous. There's no corruption in play, though. So we could... I want to say we could freely swing on the knight, but that would mean that that's the doppelganger. And they would just die. I don't know if the doppelganger actually gets the card's ability that they copy, though. Because if the doppelganger copies an ability, then this could also be the doppelganger. Since you're lying, that means that... Yeah, okay. Okay, so the doppelganger does copy their ability. That's cool. That's very safe if it's a knight, then. Red. Yeah, because 4 was lying. 4 was Ba. I'm a bit into this. So let's see where we're at here. Okay, there's a shitload of corruption here. Potentially 2, 3, 4 corrupt characters. And a doppel. That's neat. If we get a druid, that would be kind of big. Hopefully that could out the doppel or the drunk. Right-clicking cards give hint? Yep, sure does. Very useful. Wretch does not appear as an outcast for her. That one I didn't know for a while. 3 knights. Surely one of them is real. The problem is, there's a lot of corruption this time, and if knights are corrupted, and they're executed, you take 9 damage instead of 5. If you run out of health, you lose. You have 4 lives to get through a single village. Yep, it's gonna be a rough fire. The guys start blasting knights. Closest evil is equidistant. So, for the Enlightened to be correct, if they're not corrupted, that would mean that these two are evil, but it's very unlikely many of these are not corrupted. 3 is a real knight? Possibly. Be corrupted, though. A lot of these don't actually do too much. Because the knights aren't going to lie to me. They can be corrupted, but they won't, like, lie or anything. They just have their ability. Only 1 pair of evil. Only 2 evil characters. But a lot of corrupted ones. Because, like, these guys will also have their own abilities. Will always lie. Disguise themselves with a different role. And 1 adjacent villager to them is corrupted, if possible. Okay, but that means, based on the tags, that if it is a doppelganger, the doppelganger cannot be corrupted. The drunk can also... The drunk's always corrupted. The drunk is fucking silly. Random card 9 in play. I am corrupted and I lie. I cannot be cured. You cannot fix me. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not look at the rose tattoo on my arm. You cannot fix me. Called out. Villagers adjacent to me are corrupted if possible. I lie in disguise. We just didn't get. Yeah, okay. What does Puka do? Puka's a bitch. That's Puka's gimmick. Now, villagers adjacent to her are corrupted if possible. She also lies in disguises like other evils. So that would mean, for example, if Puka were this druid right here, and I use the ability, not only would the ability give me bad information, but the 2 cards next to her would be corrupted and give me bad information as well. The Poisoner is kind of the same, but he's not as bad, because he can only corrupt 1 adjacent. Yep. Also, I don't even need to say it, but like the art style in this game is so charming and wonderful, and I love it. The knights are really scary here because they're basically fucking landmines. They're not as bad as bombardiers, but they're close. Either way, I still get 2 swings if I'm gonna mess up. Because there is no Lilith. Thank God. I don't even know where to begin with this one. The Enlightened saying that closest evil is equidistant would mean that it has to be both of these two. Because it would have to be 3 away on both sides. Well, unless it was like... I guess not necessarily. It could be like here and here. Or here and here. But again, if corrupted, hard to tell. I'm about to just start swinging at knights. Let's test the waters here. Evil and 1 pair of evils. I don't have anything to test you on yet. I'd like to wait to test the Jester, but I might be able to test you. What do we have again? So let's figure out why we have 3 knights. 1 doppelganger, which disguises as a good villager currently in play. Not evil, just disguises themselves. So that's one of the knights. And the drunk has to be one of the knights. Because there's nothing else that causes them to change. Which means only 1 knight could be real. Two of them are not ones I want to swing on. Unless... No, too soon. See if we can find an outcast. If this is even real. No outcasts among those 3. So hear me out. This is where we're gonna have to, like, really start taking some shots in the dark, I think. Because if this druid is telling the truth, that means that this knight is not a doppelganger. Or a drunk. That would be kind of good as to tell us that, you know, the druid is not like... Basically, we could find something. Couldn't it still be evil? The druid could be evil. The knight could be evil. But if it's a real knight... We're either going to take damage, it's a real knight, or it's evil. And we get rid of one of them. We don't have to do it this way. But we could. Closest evil is equidistant. Also, if this is evil, and this is not corrupted, which is very actually, no, if it's evil, then one of these would be corrupted, or both, potentially. Let's just fuck around and find out. That was a corrupted knight. Okay, so we took big damage. But that means that the druid is telling the truth. So you're cleared, at the cost of a knight's life. Closest evil is equidistant. Three is a real knight. That could be true, but they could also be corrupted. Let's see. I should have swung on something that wasn't a knight and then used the judge on it to determine if the judge was real or not. That's usually a good strat. Is the druid lying? Since we already used this. Druid is lying. No outcasts? I guess the drunk could be one of those, but the drunk... I guess, yeah. Technically one of these could be evil, and the drunk could literally just be one of these. If the drunk disguises one that's in play... Or, like, on the board already. Random not in play villager. Shit. Okay, hold on. That changes things. I misread that. So one of these knights is evil. We're gonna have to run some scenarios here. So you're not evil, we know. You're good. well, you could be good. It's hard to tell. 0 evils here. If 9 is lying, let's operate under the assumption. Let's run the scenario that the Jester's telling the truth, right? If the Jester is telling the truth, there's 0 evils among 1, 9, and 6. So these would all be good. I mean, this knight we obviously cleared already. But it is corrupted, which means something on either side of it is evil. Because it's either Puka or the Poisoner that could corrupt it. This is true. That clears all of these. One of these is evil. So there's only one pair of evils. It's hard to say. This is also like, I'm not saying that this Jester is cleared. I'm just running the scenario in my head of, if this is the case, then let's see if anything contradicts. See where we can get. I missed the 3-minute ad break. That's rough. Oh well. We'll get the next one. Make sure to shut off pre-rolls the second we can. Could the Poisoner and Puka corrupt the same character? Yes, potentially. Or if they're next to each other, then they wouldn't corrupt each other. Doesn't matter because they're already lying. But they could corrupt the same character. Like, let's say Puka's here as the Enlightened, right? If Puka's here, that would explain why this knight is corrupted. That would mean that this is corrupted. Unless the Poisoner is here, in which case this one would be lying. The Poisoner has corrupted this one. Well, Poisoner could corrupt this one, or Poisoner could corrupt this one. But they could just hit the same character, yes, I believe. Yo, Shadow Walker Kai, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. How's your day going? Hope all's well. You're about to watch me fail. So, in this scenario, only one pair of... I feel like... One pair of evil? A pair of evil means that that is 2 evil cards right next to each other, if the knitter is telling the truth. Yeah. So if they're telling the truth, then these 2 could be, technically. And then that knight's also corrupted. So, let's say that's corrupted. That's real. These 2 could be next to each other. And that could be true. But hold on. 1 is saying that 9 is lying. But 9 is saying that there are no outcasts among 4, 5, and 6. That would track, though. There's not an outcast there. Maybe. Unless 1 is telling the truth. In which case, one of these would be an outcast. Maybe this is a drunk instead of a corrupted character. Working warning? Yeah. I don't know if I'm the best person to learn from, but I have played a little bit. Appreciate you stopping in. Happy to have you. Very fun new game. This is only my 2nd time playing it, so. So if 9 is lying, 4, 5, and 6, no outcasts. That means one of these is an outcast. We know it's not the knight. This could literally just be the drunk as well. So the drunk could be one of these if 1 is telling the truth. 6, 9, and 1, it says there are no evils. Which means that one of these is either corrupted or lying. That's if the gesture is real. God, this is... See what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of possibilities here. I really just don't like this board as well. So here's the thing. We know that one of these two has to be evil. Because the knight is corrupted. That's a fact. So 5 or 7 is evil. I should have saved the gesture for that then. Yeah, that knight being dead confirms that one of those two is evil. But sadly, because that knight was corrupted, we don't get another miss if we hit the drunk. Since the drunk only takes 2 HP. I think we just run this one, and if we miss, we just run it back with the next round. We got more lives to go. This is not the smartest way to do this, but what if it's you? Okay, that's Puka. That answers a lot. Sometimes you just gotta gamble with lives. You don't have to. It's probably not the best plan, but, you know. So hear me out. Puka being here could have corrupted this knight, or I'm gonna call this one the Stitcher because that name is not something I want to be saying repeatedly on Twitch. But the Stitcher here has a correct opinion, potentially. Unless they're the Poisoner. They are the Poisoner, they could have both hit this knight right here. Either way, this medium is lying to me. Meaning that this knight is not a real knight. That could mean that this is... Who's the other one? Poisoner, right. That can mean that this knight is the Poisoner. This is rough. Turn up Outcast. Well, hold on. Hold on. Let's say one's telling the truth. Let's clear some markers here. We know that that one is at least corrupted, so you're on thin ice. That one is corrupted. Corrupted characters don't register as evil, so the Stitcher here could be telling the truth, and this medium here could be, instead of being corrupted, just be the Poisoner, and the Poisoner's corruption hit this knight over here. Either way, that medium is not to be trusted. But that would mean, of 4, 5, and 6, what are the possibilities for this medium? It could be the Poisoner, it could be the drunk, right? That's the only thing it could be. Now, we also have a doppelganger, of course we fucking do. Well, hold on. Doppelganger disguises as a villager currently in play. The doppelganger is one of these knights. If they're lying, then this knight has to be the doppelganger. So that's good to know. Okay. Personally, like 4 is the Poisoner. It's... Do doppelgangers lie? That I don't know. But I can safely assume that this is the doppelganger if we have 3 knights. One of them is dead and was corrupted. The doppelganger has to copy a card that is a villager that is already in play. A good villager that's in play, I think, right? Yeah, good villager currently in play. Which means if there's another knight in play... I don't know if doppelgangers can copy... characters that are disguised, though. So, like, let's say this was the Poisoner somehow. Disguised as a knight, and the doppelganger copied... I guess it could have still copied this knight. You see what I mean? Doppel can't lie or be corrupted. Can it not? Always consider themselves as a disguised role. This guy's just the poet and started writing better poems. The poet is furious. These flavored texts are also great. Always consider themselves the disguised role. I think Doppels can still lie, potentially. Just never seen them be corrupted. I mean... Yeah, no. I think Doppels can still lie, potentially. If they're corrupted. Because it doesn't say they can't be corrupted. They could just... Like, this is all touch and go. This is a very new game where, like, everybody's kind of figuring stuff out right now. Yeah, that's what I'm operating under right now. It seems like they probably can be. So let's see. If that's the doppelganger, the medium is lying, and there are no outcasts among these three. If the druid is telling the truth, and there are no outcasts among those three, that makes 4 the poisoner. However, if 9 is lying somehow, they would have to be corrupted by one of the cards next to them, so which means these two are sketchy. What are we? All of these guys are sketchy? This knight could still be evil as well. 4 is poisoner, 3 is doppel, 1 is drunk. That could be as well. Because the drunk disguises as something that's not in play. So the drunk is going to be something that's a 1 of, I think. Unless it doesn't account if like a demon disguises themselves as a villager that's not actually in play. You know what I mean? There's a lot of moving parts here. He has doppel. So this is doppel. I do think 3 is the doppel. I think that is like a safe bet. So they have to copy something that's on the board already. And we know 4 is lying, so 3 is not a real knight. The drunk's gonna be something that's a 1 of. So the drunk could literally be anything marked as orange right now. That's not the knight. Actually gonna clear that knight because I don't want to swing on them, just so I do that. 2 I don't know about. 2 could be a real knight or it could be evil. Knight 2 is poisoner and 1 is poisoned. That could also be very true. Well, hold on. Let's run that scenario. So if Knight 2 is the poisoner and 1 is poisoned, that would mean that 9 is telling the truth, right? So if 9 is telling the truth, there's no outcast amongst these 3. And if there's no outcast amongst these 3, that means that 2 can't be the poisoner because if they're, like, then 4 would have to be the poisoner because there's no outcast in this pocket right here. If there's no outcast, and we've guaranteed that the doppelganger is over here, which, I mean, yeah, that is the doppel. We've determined 4 is lying. That is something that is guaranteed. They're either corrupted or just lying. Or would just be corrupted in the scenario for Puka. They could be corrupted, or they could be the poisoner that's just lying. Brain isn't working today. No, you're on the right track. This game is all about running scenarios like that and just figuring out, like, taking it one step at a time, you know what I mean? You can just open the door and start emptying chambers and just seeing who you hit and see if you win, you know what I mean? That's a strat. And it is fun. It's very fun, actually. 2 poisoner, 1 corrupted, 3 doppel, 4 corrupted, 7 drunk. Let's see. 1 pair of evil. Okay, so let's run that. Just one piece at a time. 2 is the poisoner. 1 is corrupted. 3 is the doppel. 4 is corrupted by Puka. 7 is the drunk. Then who's flying the plane? 4 isn't the poisoner. That makes 7 is lying. That's true. That could be the case. Garganackle. Hold on. That's a big salty boy. This is... You're gonna hear me, like... It's gonna be the Always Sunny Charlie Day, like... bored of me trying to, like, tie things together in this. You're gonna hear me think about a lot of random bullshit and spout it out, probably incorrectly. And someone in chat's gonna figure it out way faster. So let's see. If 1 is corrupted, that means that 9 is telling the truth. This would also clear 9, if that's the case. Right. if that's the case, it says that 4, 5, and 6, there are no outcasts. If there are no outcasts amongst these two, that means that this is not... That means that the druid is telling the truth. Need a wall of crazy to figure this out? Exactly. But yeah, no. That scenario. Poisoner here. So, let's say Poisoner here. Corrupted here. You're good. He's saying that one's lying because he lies. 4, 5, and 6 are not outcasts. That would be true. But if that's the truth, then that means the Poisoner is right here. That means the Poisoner would be 4. And that contradicts because then we have the Poisoner there and there. You know what I mean? So I don't think it can be 2. Hey, you guys want to find out real quick? Okay, never mind. You were right. There we go. 7 was in fact the drunk. 3 was the doppel. Yeah. Nailed it. Look at that. I was gonna say, worst case scenario there, we hit the knight and it's a real knight. And they just don't die. Since we know it's not the doppel. Because it couldn't have been the drunk, because the drunk disguises themselves as a one of. Got it thanks to Shadow. Very cool. We have 2 Shadows in chat now. But yeah, no, it's... So yeah, that means 4, 5, and 6, there were no outcasts. So this was a real medium. They were just corrupted. Okay. So this one was telling the truth. This one was corrupted. You were just drunk. You were fine. Yeah, his corruption hit the judge instead of the doppel. But the doppel wouldn't have said anything as a knight anyway. There's a lot of moving parts. Yeah, well done, guys. Appreciate that. What are we looking at here? The witch fucking sucks because you can't reveal the last card. Plague Doctor corrupts 1 good villager. But it also gives you the ability to pick a character, and if they're corrupted, you weren't an evil character. So 1 character will be corrupted. Ba is going to take out one of the outcast characters. So one of the members of Hitband Outcast will just not be here this time. Tragic, I know. Okay, only 1 character is going to be corrupted though, so that's makes that nice. What card are we leaving out? What card are we not flipping? I'll let chat decide. If Bod takes out the Plague Doctor, that means there's no corruption. We're going to have to flip an outcast to see what gets taken out, though. And that's tricky because the Witch makes it to where we have to leave 1 card unflipped. Let me you pick. I don't know, chat. Who do you think should pick? Someone else say something? I don't know. It's looking like Daisy might have... Fishing. Nobody says anything by the time this cast comes up. I need Daisy to pick a number. Feel like hating 4? We'll hate 4 then. Alright, 4. You're not getting flipped. Sorry, bud. Hopefully we find an outcast here. Shit. Okay. Well, 4 is one of the outcasts. Now we don't know if there's corruption or not. Because we don't know if it's a Plague Doctor or a Wretch. Alright, this is interesting. 1 evil adjacent to you. 1 is evil, 2, 6, or 4. I am 1 card from closest evil. Yeah, because poets just do random shit. Hmm. 3 or 8 is a witch. That would mean you or you. Run an evil roll if picked to learn correct info. That's pretty useful if we have someone, like, cornered if they're not corrupted by Plague Dot Corruption. Because if a card is corrupted and you try to use their active ability, it will give you bad information. This is interesting, though. This could give us good information. This sounds silly. If it's not lying, the wretch looks like a cabbage to her. One string wretch was a cabbage, well, flavor text. But here's the thing. If that is a wretch at 4, because it could be. If 2 and 5 are telling the truth, 3 is a witch. 1 card away from Jason Evil. Yeah. So these two could track together. Or, sorry. So 2 and 5? Yeah. So you're on thin ice. Slayer's on thin ice. Let's just see what this says. 3 could be a witch. Yeah, that's a lot of fingers pointed at you. Let's just... They're all wrong. They are literally all wrong somehow. Huh. Is it 8, then? And one's just corrupted or something? How many times can the Slayer slay? Well, if they were alive, they could try once. Corrupted? For which one? 2, 6, or 4 is evil. Just because so many are lying. There could very well be 1 corruption. I kind of wish I would have used the Dreamers thing here to see if we could sniff out a wretch on the off chance that it is a wretch and the Dreamer's not lying. It was possible. But to have all of those fingers pointed at the Slayer and it not be the Slayer is tragic. It's pretty brutal. Alright, so one at a time here. Let's assume that the medium... Let's say the medium is telling the truth, right? Let's run this scenario. Actually... Yeah, let's say that this is... This one's either lying or corrupted. So we can mark that. Because the Dreamer gave us bad info. 2 is a real poet. Let's say you're telling the truth. 1 card away from the closest evil. That would guarantee that the Dreamer is an evil. Also, if we hit the Witch, we can flip the 4th card, which would be nice. We also still have 4 lives, so we don't have to... We can start swinging if we really need to, but we got a little bit of a safety net. The wretch shows as evil, yes, but the wretch doesn't disguise. Like, it's just openly a wretch. Thing is, it could be right here, or the plague dot could be right here, based on what we've been given. But thanks to the witch, we can't reveal the last card until she's dead. Card away from the closest evil. So this isn't a wretch or anything. This would either... So, hold on. Possibility. Two is a real poet would mean 1 away from the closest evil. That is not the Slayer. Means that it's the Dreamer. That would also track with the Lover. I think 1 is Witch. It's looking like 1 is probably the Witch. Actually, it's looking like 1 might be Ba, because this one says 3 or 8 is the Witch, unless it's corrupted. Or, you know, evil as well. It's looking like the Dream... It's not looking good for the Dreamer. But let's say... On the chance that 2 is lying... Or 6 over here is lying, right? 6 has given us bad information. That would mean that 2 is also not a real poet. Which in this case... There's no doppels or anything. There's no shamans to create extra copies. That would mean that poet is evil. That would mean that there is no evil around this character. Which means that for this to be a lie, this would have to be corruption. Considering she just lied, she's definitely not pure good. She's definitely not pure good. But she could be corrupted if this is a plague doctor. Yeah, let's say... It's possible these two. It's possible 2 and 6 are evil. From what I'm seeing right now. Well, hold on. No, because this one's saying figure 8 is a witch. So if we're operating under this assumption that these two were evil, yeah, then 7's lying as well. And that's not possible because that means we have 4 liars. So I don't think that's the case. I want to say 6 is queer. I'm not positive, but it's leaning that way. We're gonna operate like that for now. I think the lover might be okay. If the lover's okay, that means that 5 is lying. And again, that could be corruption. 2, 6, or 4 is evil. We can have up to 3 liars, basically, is what we're looking at. 6 is clear, 2 is clear, 1 is evil, 7 could be telling the truth if 4 is wretch. So... if 4 is wretch. 4 could be the wretch. There might not be corruption, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a possibility. Or could also be Ba, correct. So, rereading that. If 6 is clear, 2 is clear, 1 is evil, 1's probably Ba or the witch. And 7 could be telling the truth if 4 is the wretch. That is true. So let's operate saying that this is the wretch. You're telling the truth. That means our evils are here and here. Right? If that is the case. Yeah, I think it's a... I think we try here. Let's see if the... either the poet is right, and it clears a lot of people, or we lose. There it is. Alright, cool. But that means we can flip this. Yeah, there's your wretch, which means the Empress is telling the truth. That means the medium's clear. That means the lover's clear. Out of here, goat man. Very cool. Hold on. Yep, by 5. I'm gonna be looking at... okay, Ba and Twin Minion. Not bad at all. But there is a Drunk, which kind of... and a Doppel. Jesus Christ. Okay, Doppel copies something on the board. Drunk is a one of. But it will copy some... like another possible villager. But we can flip everything at least. At no threat. Okay. Sketch. Sketch. How many corruptions can there be, Mr. Alchemist? The drunk can't be cured. They are corrupted and they cannot be cured by alchemists. There is no other corruption. Are they both lying? Hold on. Am I missing something? You're not corrupted. You're not corrupted. No one else is corrupted. They're both claiming to have cured corruptions, but they can't cure corruptions because I don't think there are any. So here's my... this is gonna sound crazy, but here's my hypothesis. Both alchemists are fucking evil, and one of these fortune tellers is a doppelganger. Yeah, this might just be 7 and 3 already, but let's not jump the gun just yet. Is there any way that there's 2 corruptions here? Like, does anything else corrupt? The drunk is corrupt but can't be cured. So they're just fucking lying. And nothing could be corrupting them to make them lie. Fuck out of here. Easy game. Okay. We do have corruption in play. Only 1, though. God, that last one was maybe the easiest round I've had in this since I hit, like, Ascension 5. Or Village 5 or whatever. Unless Ba takes out Plague Doctor. Yeah, that's possible. But we can't flip everything because of the fucking witch. Alright, chat. Which one we not flipping? Pick a number between 1 and 8. First one I see gets it. Otherwise, I'm rolling a D8. Hey, get you a trainer pass, big dog. Shadowed with the 7. Heard. Alright, 7, you're not getting flipped. casually goes to fishing. Okay, confirmed plague doctor. Very cool. Got a tepe at the start. Let's go. And you got a free coffee, Daisy? Look at that. Free lake water coffee. I should also fish. One moment. This might look weird. And when I tab out, sometimes it, like, just goes to the background of this game. It's still a playtest. One evil adjacent to the poet. Not adjacent to the lover. I don't know what 7 is. I think there was a drunk and a doppel, right? No, no drunk. That was last time. There's a bombardier, potentially. And a doppel, potentially, but one of them got taken out by Ba. Are there any duplicates that we can see? No. There are 2 judges? No, there's only 1 judge. Well, that we can see. Hey, they corrupted. Number 3 is evil, number 3 is corrupted. What? Is that possible? So if you hit a character that's corrupted with the Plague Doctor's ability, they will tell you a single evil card on the board, if they're telling the truth. If the Plague Doctor... Even the Plague Doctor can be corrupted, but they will never tell you if they are. I always see myself as not corrupted, even if I am evil, based on its card. So it's a cool ability, but you gotta be careful. Because the Plague Doctor himself could just be corrupted or fucking evil. Has to be a different role, or will be able to be executed. Can Ba and the Witch get corrupted? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if an evil card can also be considered corrupted. Well, we're about to find out. The Plague Doctor can't corrupt himself. I don't think. Maybe? I don't know. I've never seen that happen before. Just says pick one... No, one good villager is corrupted. It is an outcast, not a villager. So it can't corrupt itself. I think we're about to swing up... Hold on. 4 is lying. Alright, so one of you two is sus. Unless the judge got hit by the corruption. If the judge got hit by the corruption, how does that work? And this one's telling the truth, and this is evil. Doesn't say they can't, yeah. Three is evil and corrupted, that's wild. If not, the Plague Doctor is probably evil. Okay, that's a real knight. So that Plague Doctor's fucking lying. That means the judge is clear. Out of here. Hey, we can flip this card. Let's go. Whew, that's dangerous. Okay. So Bombardier, it's as simple as that. If you hit them, and it is a real Bombardier, you just lose all your health. Big boom. Okay, let's see. You say 8, 7, or 6 is evil. You say there's one evil adjacent to you. 5 is Ba. That could be the case. So let's operate under... Let's say that the Stitcher here is telling the truth, right? That would mean that both of these are clear. 8, 7, or 6 is evil. One evil adjacent to me. That would track with her story. It's looking like you're probably right. I don't see anything that contradicts. The only other possibility, if it's not, is the Bombardier, which is sketch, but... Yeah, nailed it. Well done. All of that tracks. Alright, moving on. There's only one evil here? Oh, shit. That's weird. We get to flip everything, and we actually get to see a rare confessor, maybe? Oh my god. Hi, Puka. Men will literally look at a woman like this and say, wife. I'm men. Hello, Puka. Confessor's good. Confessors are great. They can't lie, period. If they're corrupted or evil, they give you the line, I am dizzy. So she's queer. That's huge. That's concrete information right off the bat. Kill the baker. I'm watching you. Too corrupted? Potentially. Actually, I don't think there's anything... Yeah, she can't hit another evil to, like, miss a corruption there. So hear me out. I think there's an easy way to do this. The architect tells you which side has more. My measurement includes the two characters at the exact midpoints of the circle as well. There has to be two bakers. Kill baker. Ascension 5 and only one evil. That's what I'm saying. I'm fucking mind blown by this one. Crazy. Both sides are equally evil. So if the architect is telling the truth, there has to be two bakers? No. So one of the cards here will basically turn into a baker. That's how this works. One random unrevealed good villager becomes a baker. So if the baker is telling the truth, they were originally an empress. Which means we don't get the benefit of the empress. But let's see. Both sides are equally evil. She still judges the wretch, which means that I think if you are good, that has to clear 7 just based on its positioning. Because that means that if it were 7, the left side would be more, like, evil. If the architect is real, the left side is clear. First baker revealed must say I was the original baker. I see. Huh. That's interesting. 6, 2, or 5 is that would track with the Empress as well. Hey Dreamer, what do you think about this baker? 2 could be Puka. Oh, they're corrupted by Puka. Hey. What you doing down here? What you doing down here, Puka? Shouldn't have been a baker. That's all I'm saying. Simply should not have been a baker. Transforms an unflipped card only when it has been flipped. Ah. So it was actually a baker, but it was corrupted to the point where it couldn't tell us that it was actually a baker. Bakers have lowest survival rate by far. I don't know. I have whacked so many drunks. Mostly because I know that they're only worth 2 HP worth of damage, so I get an extra swing if I'm wrong. It's a war of attrition at this point. Survival of the fittest. Alright, Ba's gonna knock off a Wretch or a Plague Doc. I hate this combination. Lots of witch rounds. Lots of witch rounds. Not a fan. All right, chat. You know the drill by now. Give me a number. 1 through 8. What are we not flipping? Luffy, give me a number. 1 through 8. As far as I'm concerned, if I went around and the drunk is alive, I've lost. 1. Okay, we're not flipping 1. All right, we found the Wretch, which means that the Plague Doctor is gone, which is actually really good. That means there's no corruption. If someone's lying, they're fucking evil. There are 2 pairs of evil. Is that possible? Hey, architects, what's going on here? What's up with you? Nobody here can disguise themselves or change anything, so one of the architects is evil. Lots going on. Both of these say there are 2 pairs of evil. I think I know what that means, actually. They're evil together as 2 pair. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it literally has to be like either from 2 to 4 or from 4 to 6. But I don't think it can be from 4 to 6 because the Stitcher and the Poet are saying the same thing. That would mean this one is also lying and there's no corruption. Start blasting. Yeah, I think it's... my gut is telling me 2 to 4, but I'm going to take it a little slower here. So... 7 is telling me 4 or 5 is a witch. Maybe it is these two, then. It's possible. 5 would be lying about the truth, then. If one of them is lying... If one of these is lying, both of these is lying. And there are 2 architects, so that can't be the case. Because one of these has to be are evil. They can't both be wrong, because there's no corruption. You know what I mean? These 2 are clear. 5 was affected by an evil. You. That would mean that we can learn who is the puppet, a character corrupted by an evil, not by the Plague Doctor, a villager turned into an outcast by the counselor, a cloned character by the shaman who was killed by an evil. None of those make sense, though. Unless it is literally evil. An evil ability. And before both poets evil. Or like the poet and the Stitcher, I guess. Well, one of the architects has to be. Yeah. That would be funny, but these two have to be clear. Just because of the way that the architects are. So we like 2 to 4 then. 2 to 4 is looking pretty good. But here's the thing. If 2 to 4 is correct, then the Oracle is lying. Because it says 4 or 5 is a witch. Disguise can be another role. Like, the witch could effectively be a wretch. Well, no. I think the wretch has to be clear as well, for there to be 2 pairs of evil. Because the wretch has to count in that 2 pair, because that means that there are 3 evils next to each other. It's either 2 and 3, or 5 and 6. And if 5 and 6... If 5 is clear, then I think it has to be 2 and 3. I think you're lying. I think you're lying. Yeah. Yep, 2 to 4. Start blast. Ascension 6, baby. 2 evils. A Mogus. Just a minion and Ba. We take those. There's 1 corruption if Ba doesn't knock it off. There is 1 corruption, which means the wretch is not in play. Okay. Or more random outcast among them, if any? Closest evil is clockwise. Okay. Only 1 pair of evil. Ba is 1 card from closest evil. These would track together if they're both telling the truth. There are 2 scouts. So that's sus. There's nothing that disguises itself. Well, there's no, like, good thing that disguises itself. 1 lies. Minion is 3 card from closest evil. Possibly. It's looking like these 2 are covering each other, so it's not looking good for 1. We're going to mark that for now. There are no corrupted characters. I think that's a lie. I think that has to be a lie, because the Plague Doctor corrupted someone. Yeah, 2's lying. Yeah, okay, yeah, same thought process, same time. Just kind of slowly going around the wheel here. 2 could be corrupted, correct. Or these 2 could just both be evil. I think that's a possibility. Because that would mean that there is a pair of evil, and Ba is 1 card from the closest evil. That would track with both of those. Let's operate under that assumption for now, and just run that scenario, right? Let's say those 2 are good. Hey, Plague Doctor, did you corrupt that one? 2 is not corrupted. Sounds like they might be evil. That would track with him as well, then. If he's not, you know, evil himself. 4 would be corrupted in that case. Or Steve was clockwise. That could very well be, yeah. You could be corrupted. Let's say that these two are evil. Jester, what do you have to say? I thought we had a wretch for a second. That would have been a really good test. Among 2, 1, and 8, there are 2 evils. That tracks there as well. And the druid ability doesn't help us here at all. Well, hold on. Unless they're lying. No. All of this tracks. You two are the ones with lies here. Yep. Moving on. 3 evils. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is so bad. Might as well throw in a drunk, too, while you're at it. Jesus Christ. So we can't flip a card. The counselor turns a villager into an outcast role. He sits next to an outcast, lies and disguises. Lilith is a bitch. At least there's no Puka. At least there's no Puka. Yeah, so, which keeps us from flipping one. He's gonna turn one villager into an outcast role. So something like a Doppel, Reg, Plague Doctor, Bombardier. I'm guessing it means it has to be one of these if these are here, unless we see something that's not. But maybe we won't see it because the witch is here. Who knows? Fuck me, right? Lilith is bad. Kills a random unrevealed character. Deal 2 damage to you whenever it happens. Whenever night falls. And night falls, it means you get like 4 turns, basically. Yep, extra card round. Alright. Somebody give me a number. What card are we not flipping? What's our witch card? 10. Wait a minute. Okay, somebody give me an actual number. Between 1 and 9, please. Also, Luffy's banned. He knows I can't count. Everybody casually fishing when I ask for a number. I'm rolling a D8. Or, I guess a D10 in this case. Alright, we got 7. 7 is not getting flipped. Lilith's whacked 5. Okay. There are no corrupted characters. Plague Doctor's here, so that's a lie. So you're either corrupted or evil. We don't know what 5 was. Thinking about getting a D10 too. Let's go. Pretty much think alike. We do not get to see what she kills. Nope. Killed by the demon cannot be revealed. Pretty rough. But the bard we know is lying. As the Plague Doctor. None of these guys corrupt. Lilith doesn't do anything anymore, thankfully, now that everything is flipped, but the... Well, that's... maybe not true. I think flipping a card constitutes, like, this moving. When you reveal a card, the clock ticks. After every character has acted, the game returns to daytime. Okay. She won't kill evil. Yeah, exactly. But also, I don't think my actions will, like, trigger her anymore unless we kill the witch and then we flip this card. In which case she would kill... she wouldn't be able to kill because all cards would be revealed. So only one of these cards is corrupted. A Plague Duck. Is it that one? 8 is corrupted, 9 is evil. Is evil 5, 8, or 7. We're about to find out really quick. If 8 is not corrupted, that means 8 is evil. If 8 is corrupted and we kill it right now, that means the Plague Doctor is lying and it is evil. Well, hold on. What is 9 saying? He says 9 is evil? 5, 8, or 7. Well, that one's dead. So it wasn't evil. 8, according to the Plague Doctor, is corrupted. 7, we don't know what 7 is. Let's see if the Plague Doctor... Actually, hold on. Let's double check this. This is a good way to test this. The 69 evil trick. God damn it. I was thinking of Jester. Jester tells you how many are evil. Oopsie. Well, you know what, Fortune Teller? I think you're right. Okay. That means the Plague Doctor is lying. If the Plague Doctor is lying, that means that the Bard is not corrupted. If the Bard is not corrupted, I think that means the Bard's evil. Because it also lied. So I think the Plague Doctor and the Bard are out here. Villagers run. Yeah, you're a bitch. That means he was next to... What's he next to? The Doppel? I think it had to be the Doppel, because he always has to sit next to an outcast. Unless he made another one. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense as well, because we don't see any duplicates, unless this is a dupe. But, him saying this is a lie. That means 8 being corrupted is a lie, but since they lied... What? Apparently an evil was there. And no corrupted characters. How? That's true? Oh, because he wasn't a real Plague Doctor. I'm fucking silly. Oh, well, anyway. 1 heart down. Yep, no one was corrupted. Yep. It's too late. I'm too stupid. Alright, we're back in there. We got 3 more chances to get through 5 more villages. I've clutched it out in worse circumstances. I already forgot what the evils were. Okay, I can open everything, but Lilith is going to be swinging, so... 5 is 9 is a minion. I have nothing to go off of now, so... Goodbye, someone. Nope, goodbye, 3. And she can't kill anybody else because they're all revealed. Okay, good. I do take 2 damage, though. That is A-okay. No knights in play to one-shot me. The Doppel will be disguised as a good villager currently in play. So where's the Doppel at? Possibly there, because I don't see any duplicates. Or it could be... The Doppelgang could be any of these. That's rough. Do you only kill a good villager? Random unrevealed character. Nope. Okay. Puppet is 1 card from closest to evil. That's true. That's just true. Because that's how the puppeteer works. A random adjacent villager becomes a puppet if possible. It's evil, but it cannot lie. You do have to kill the puppet as well. So there are 4 evil cards in play, technically, right now. Puppet being 1 card from closest to evil, though, is guaranteed, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, Panda, hi. You here to watch me fail? Luffy said it just can't be evil. Yeah. If you're talking about 1, like the Scout, yeah, that's... Scout checks out. The puppet is evil but cannot lie. And Lilith won't kill evil. So this was an innocent character. That was a good character. I am 1 card away from a corrupted character. I don't think it can be the Scout. Wait, hold on. Is there any corruption here? There's no corruption here. I think the Bard's just fucking lying. Yeah, none of you corrupt. You're just a little shit. You are, at this point, just a little shit. You're basically a minion now. If 3 is confirmed good, then 2 is lying. Right side is more evil. 3 is confirmed good. There are 4 evil cards in play. Unless... Hold on. If possible. So hear me out. It's 3 to 4 evils. If the puppeteer is sandwiched between the minion and Lilith, it won't turn a villager into a puppet. That is a possible scenario. That bard's lying. Yeah. There are no corrupted characters. 5 or 9 is a minion. That tracks with you. You're fine. 4 is good? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the puppeteer and he's fucked. Pick one character and learn if they're lying. Hey, is that bard lying? 9 is lying? Alright, you're good, which means you're good. Right side is 1. So hear me out. I think 5 or 9 is a minion. Checks out. The Jester. How many of them are evil? Let's do this. Since we've confirmed that these 3 are good. 2 evils. Bet. Which means... No? One that 1 out of 2 characters is a specific... 5 or 9... Wait. Lilith isn't a minion. She's a demon. I forgot. So that's a lie. If, Well, no. Hold on. Stop. Stop. Brain stop. What the fuck? This has to be evil. But it's telling the truth. Saying that 5 or 9 is a minion. This fortune teller was good. I don't understand that. 5 or 9 is a minion. 9 is in fact a minion, so that is the truth. Unless it's both of them, and that makes it not count. But if it's both of them, that would also mean that 4 is... Well, 4 is confirmed good. 5 vouching for 4 means 5 is good. Look at puppeteer ability. Random adjacent villager becomes a puppet if possible. Oh, the puppet's evil, but it can't lie. That's right, thank you. Okay, so you were a puppet. You were just telling the truth. Yep, okay, good call. I forgot about that part. Very confused. Which means that the architect has to be... Yeah, I think it has to be too. Okay, cool, we got there. Hey, cool, thank you for the reminder. We're fine, everything's fine. Alright, Counselor, Shaman, Ba. The Shaman is something we haven't seen tonight. At least I don't think. 2 of the same villager roles in the current village. Ba's going to knock off one of the outcasts. We can flip every card, though, so let's go ahead and flip every card and just see where we're at. Do crabs think fish are flying just like birds? Do you think birds are flying just like fish? Think about it. Oh, there's your answer. Hmm. 2 of the same villager roles in the current village. Shaman does not duplicate outcasts. It duplicates a villager. So who got duplicated? The knight? There are 3 knights. There's only 1 plague doctor. There's no way a plague doctor got... Yeah, this is a little silly. There's no way the plague doctor got duplicated. So there's only 1 actual corruption. It's Pikachu! Also, shout out to that powder blue Tang. Is that the Dory? So that means that the knight would have had to have gotten duplicated by the shaman. And then one of the 3 knights is not real. But as long as it's not corrupted, those knights are pretty safe to start whacking. If we can find the corruption, we can start hitting knights, is what I'm getting at. But one of these plague doctors is fake. If we can find a character that is corrupted, we can learn a lot. 8 is a real plague doctor. We only have 1 piece of info. It's rough. Yeah. 8's a real plague doc. let's go with that, I guess. We're about to have to just start swinging. Hold on. None of the outcasts can disguise as other characters. It looks like Ba got rid of a bombardier. Yeah, sure did. None of them can disguise. Well, none of the outcasts can, so Druid's ability doesn't help us. Actually, hold on. Swing at 5. Let's try this. Among 5, 6, and 7, there is Wretch. That's wrong. That is not the correct answer. Alright, I'm going to think about this one, but also I need to use the restroom, Panda needs to use the restroom, and we need to run a 3-minute ad break. So we're going to run a break real quick. Get up, stretch your legs, get a drink, whatever you got to do. If you guys need anything from the fridge, let me know. I'll grab it for you. And we will be right back. What? Did it just run on its own? Hold on. Did a mod do that? Bepis, I got you. Oh, the pre-roll shut off. It said I had like 5 minutes left, so I'm hoping it had, or mod did that. Ice cream? I have those little strawberry shortcake bars in the fridge if you guys want those. I got you. I do need a, yeah, we'll get a quick BRB. I'm going to leave this up, though, so you guys can see. Those of you that can see through ads. Appreciate y'all. You got him as well. Good taste. Good taste. I think I got my thoughts on this round. If Judge tests 5 or 8, the Real Plague Doctor tests 1 for corruption. I mean, yeah. Knights are less risky unless they're corrupted. Because if we swing on them and they don't die, it's a real knight. Judge tests 5 or 8, then Real Plague Doctor tests 1 for corruption. Let's do 8 then, because 7 is vouching for 8. And if 8 is wrong, then that means that 7 is also pretty whack. But 1 is corrupted, 5 is evil, 2 knights evil. Well, we've only got 3 evils right now. Hey, you guys are putting in work. So let's see then. Let's have the judge. Well, we'll have this one do it. 1 brain cell. I'm glad you guys found it. I've been looking for it for a while. So let's have the Plague Doc test someone first. Real Plague Doctor test 1 for corruption. 4 is evil, 1 is corrupted. Well, 4 is evil. So they're not wrong there. I think that guarantees, actually. Like, that... 4 is, in fact, evil. I don't know if that has to be right. So technically that's... I don't know if it guaranteed clears, but that sounds right. It registers properly. If that's the case, you're clear. If that's the case... we'll have the judge. Have a look. That is, in fact, the corrupted one. Oh, fucking. Hey, I accidentally judged the judge. We're gonna just say he's clear. He seems chill. He seems like a chill guy. One is corrupted. I think 5 is evil. Yeah, kill 5. Yep, there's the shaman. That's 1. Who do we have left? A counselor and Ba. Counselor has to sit next to a what's it called? Outcast. So knight number 3 here or knight number 9 could be the counselor. Yeah. What else do we have? The other one's Ba. He could be anywhere. I think if this Plague Doctor's cleared, this one's also good. I think we just start swinging at knights, honestly. If we have indeed found the corruption. Hey, it looks like 3's clear. Hey, it looks like 9's gone. There's the counselor, and that means that Ba is the other knight. No. Huh. You know, maybe the judge is actually lying. Since I tested the judge. He's just like, yeah, man, I'm cool. There's only 1 evil left, and these 2 can't both be lying. Because if he's lying, that means that 7 is lying. So yeah, it's the judge. Cool. And if it somehow... Well, no. It had to be. Shout out to the knights not being corrupted. Very cool. Big fan of that. Shaman duplicates a villager. Ba knocks off a one of the outcasts. No corruption. Well, hold on. Plague Dot could cause corruption if Ba doesn't knock it off. Okay, Plague Doc's not here. There is no corruption. I swear to God. Wait, I think that might actually be the original Baker. That was the last card I flipped. Because the Baker... One unrevealed good villager becomes a Baker. Yeah, I didn't realize the order mattered for that. But if that's the case... At least we don't have several Bakers running around. I have cured 0 corruptions. That tracks? There are no plague docs, so there is no corruption. Which means he's telling the truth. 6 is telling the truth, technically. Yeah, exactly. The evil? Potentially. No evil's adjacent to me. What evil adjacent to me? Closest evil is equidistant. If this poet's telling the truth, it's 7 and 3. Almost certainly. Because there are 2. And the only other option, if 6 is innocent, would be 5. That would be equidistant, but that would mean there was only 1 evil. What up, Crimsonary? How's it going? It's probably 1, both 2 and 5 are pointing to her. Possibly. I'm having a look over all the pieces just to make sure, but I am leaning that way as well. 1 lie, 1 might be lying. Unless you mean there's 1 lie in play. As in, like, one of the characters is lying. Closest evil is equidistant. It's not looking good for... Yeah, I was gonna say, if 3 is evil, that would mean that if the poet is telling the truth, 7 is evil. But at least we don't have, you know, fucking 4 bakers running around this time. Between 1, 5, and 4, there's a minion, a villager, and an outcast. The shaman is technically a minion. Okay, I had to check that. I mixed that up with Lilith last time because she's a demon, not a minion. Does Bombardier show up as evil? No. Bombardier is an outcast. He's technically a good villager. Or, sorry, good outcast. Like, just by tags alone. Is evil 4, 2, or 3? 4, 2, or 3. Okay, so one of these 3 basically is what Empress is pointing at. If 1 is evil, you can stab 8. That's possible. We have an original baker. Where's the other one? So the baker can only... Other bakers can only show up after you flip the original baker. But the first baker you flip will always say, I am the original baker. It was something that I just learned today. This was the last card that I flipped, so none of them got duplicated. OG baker was last card flipped. Yep. There you go. Evil 4, 2, or 3. Cracking my knuckles might just be about the time to start swinging. Yeah, because there's no corruption. So just 2 of them are lying. Period. Stab 1, he's cringe. Just putting them up on the stocks. Hey man, I don't make the rules. Lying is bet. Lying's cringe. All the homies hate 1. Just distant. So if the baker works by those rules, this has to be a... Like, they have to be clear, right? That has to be telling the truth. An 8-2 if he's evil. I hate liars. Could very well be. That would mean both of the lovers... Wait, hold on. Hold on, hold the phone. Everybody chill. Everybody calm down. Okay, yeah, shaman does duplicate a villager, so that tracks the why there would be 2 lovers then. Okay. So yeah, if the shaman copied this, then that tracks as that there are actually being 2 of those. I think it is 1 and 8. I think you guys are right. 1, 5, and 4. Minion, villager, and outcast. That's an outcast. That would mean that... That you're 5, so you'd be the villager in that case. And then 1 is... Well... You can live with your choice, chat. I guess. Yep. Very cool. Grafai, hold on. I love that little guy. Little Subway Surfer monkey. Whatever. Poisoner and Ba. If Ba doesn't knock off the Plague Doctor, there could be 1 corruption in the round. If there is a Plague Doctor, there could be 2. There is a Plague Doc. There is nothing that copies characters, however, so one of these fortune tellers is evil. This dude always doubting us. It's my job. What do you mean? You guys bully me all the time. It's a two-way street. Yeah, Plague is real. Well, I guess it could technically be disguised. Like, there's no guarantee yet. Like, it could technically be a disguised evil. 1, 4, and 6. Villager, minion, and outcast. I think 2 might just be lying. Hold on. The wretch got knocked off. 1, 4, 6. None of those is an outcast. Nor could they be. So the bishop is lying, which means they're either corrupted or evil. And one of the fortune tellers has to be evil. Yeah, 2's lying. Plague Doc him first. There are no corrupted characters. That is also a lie, I think. Yeah, there's guaranteed to be at least 1 if a real Plague Doctor. So, yeah, there's guaranteed to be at least 1. There's no way. The only scenario that happens here is if there's another evil, I think. Because then the poisoner's between the 2 evils. He can't corrupt anybody. We have 2 corrupted, 2 evils. Yes. Correct. So hear me out. This is what I'm thinking so far. I think Plague Doctor corruption hit the bishop. I think this fortune teller is evil. I think 6 is evil. And I think that's the poisoner, and their corruption hit the bard. This fortune teller is probably fine then. Always use the judge as well. We know the bard's lying. We know 2's lying. We could use the Plague Doctor's ability to find out what it says about someone that's either corrupted or evil. And if they're wrong, then the Plague Doctor is fake as well. Unless it's corrupted. The poisoner could technically corrupt the Plague Doctor, and he would just lie about it, because he never sees himself as corrupted. Plague is real, though, since there's no wretch. Is that 100% guarantee? Like, it shows us that it is a thing, but these guys can disguise as anything, like in that list. You know what I mean? So is it possible that Ba could be disguised as a Plague Dog? Plague can't be corrupted, he can't be evil. Really? I've had evils disguised as Plague Dogs before, I'm fairly certain. Because we had 2 Plague Dogs not too long ago, and one of them was evil. Sure, but they were disguised as Plague. There'll be another Plague or a wretch. Okay. So let's see. Evils can disguise as Plague, but the real Plague can't be corrupted. Alright. Oh, even if I am evil. I see. Sorry, I was petting my dog. So, you're lying. Let's see if you're corrupted. 7 is corrupted and 5 is evil? Judge? Actually, hold on. This is a good test as well. 7 is saying the truth. 7 is not saying the truth, so you're lying. This could mean that the Plague Doctor is clear. So if the Plague Doctor is clear, that means that 7 is corrupted, 5 is evil, it's the poisoner, they have corrupted the judge. And that would mean that the bishop is the other evil. Or, sorry, Ba. I think it's 5 and 2. His corruption hit the judge. That means Ba's the one lying over here. Well, no, yeah, because they're corrupted over there. Yep. Okay. Up to 4 evils here. And 1 corruption, potentially. Actually, I think it is guaranteed to be 1 corruption if the like as long as a plague doc is on board. Sure is. Cured 0. Doesn't say that. Like his range is only 2 though. Otherwise, he can cure corruption if he gets within range of them. And 1 pair of evil. All right, Lilith is about to start whacking. Puppeteer is 3 cards away from closest evil. That's a lie. That is a damn lie. You're on thin ice. Let's get them all revealed. I'll take my damage. That's fine. There are 2 plague docs. Which I think just guarantees one of them is evil. But that should still mean there's only 1 corrupted character. Because it's a minion, Lois, and the Puppeteer. 2 or 6 is a minion. There's only 1 pair of evil. That could be a lie if they're scrunched next to each other. Because the Puppeteer is guaranteed to be 1 pair. Unless they're between 2 evils. Yeah, one of the plagues are liars for sure. One is evil. 6, 2, or 7? 6, 2, 7. 6 lies. Wait, how do you know 6 lies? 6 isn't saying anything yet. Don't get me wrong, it's possible. Maybe I just haven't seen it yet. 2 or 6 is a minion. That scout is definitely wonky, though. One random outcast among, if any. Let's see how the druid's doing. We do not have a shaman. We have a puppeteer, a minion, and Lois right now. Puppeteer will turn an adjacent villager into a puppet, which is evil but cannot lie. Then we just have a minion and Lois. These 2 are basically just minions now. And the puppeteer makes someone else evil, but still tell the truth. 2 poets, which is wrong. Also correct. One of them is lying. Whatever was up here is innocent. Do they have anything to say about 8? No, nobody has anything to say about 8. Honesty, I'm high as hell, I guess, after logic stops working. I respect the fuck out of that. I am not the smartest man, as you can tell by the name, but I do enjoy sitting and having the brain teaser aspect of these. This is very fun. No, 1 pair of 2 or 6. Let's see. Hey, druid. Let's see if you give me good information here. Because there would not be any disguised outcasts, correct? Let's double check real quick. No, it's just the plague doc. Just the one real plague doc. Okay, the druid's also lying. Dear God. Man, just sitting on the dock and ripping ass. Welcome back. Awesome, I have a furret hat. Thank you. that furret has been on this stream since the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl waiting room, where people were making the videos of furret walks until the new remakes drop. And I was going to let him stop walking after that, but yeah, no, he's just kind of chilled to your sense. He's always somewhere. He's vibing. Wouldn't that just confirm 6 is a fake? That could be. If the druid is telling the truth, yeah. That could be our 2 or 6 is a minion, that would also track if it is in fact a minion. What'd you miss? How'd you go to town? We do be killing people. We're actually just straight whacking it out here. And by it, well, let's just say, my villagers. My bakers and drunks. Might be okay to stab 3. Alchemist says he isn't corrupted. That's true. Alchemist does say he isn't corrupted. The Alch could be corrupted and lying just like 3 is exactly. There's a lot of moving parts on this one. Down to stab 6, I'm in it for murder. I feel like 6 is the good starting point. If 7 is lying, so is 4. 6 or 7, yeah, I see that. 4, kill 6. I'm leaning. Yeah, I think 6 is a good starting point. 6 was a real plague doc, which means you're fucked. Which means you were innocent if Lilith killed you, which means you're a puppet. But it tells the truth, which means this is not corrupt. Lying without being corrupt is evil. Fuck. It was corrupt? What? How did he not cure it then? Because he wasn't an actual alchemist. Damn it. Yeah, I need to slow down. We had 7 too. 0 outcasts. Yeah, we could have determined that 5 was lying too. Yeah, I literally just went too fast, that's all. It's okay, we're still in it. It's all good. Oh my god, Puka, hi. Twirl's hair. We can flip everything, right? Wretch, Bombardier, Counselor makes another outcast. At least I think that's how he works. Because he turns the villager into an outcast, so I guess that just means one of these was created by the Counselor, and that's why they're in the deck. Baker time? Oh god. Please no. I'm good. Hey, thanks, Confessor. Love you. Yeah, that's our favorite. We'd love to see a good Confessor. Down to stab both knights. No, Baker, highlight. Greedy. Let's have a look really quick. The only time it's bad to stab a knight is if they're corrupted. Yo, wait. Yeah, the Baker's just gone, which means the Baker probably got... It just isn't there or got turned into the Wretch or Bombardier. So we take those. Yeah, there is corruption. Alchemist says he cured one of them, though. Seven is fine to stab, can't be corrupted by Puka. Does Puka have to be disguised as a villager? Or can they be an outcast? Villagers adjacent to me are corrupted if possible. No, but we have 2 outcasts because of Counselor. That's true. Yeah, okay. So there he is. Which means our other knight should be fine in theory. It could be corrupted, actually. Because possibly, let's say in this case, like, let's say Puka's right here. Let's say this is Puka. He cured 1 corruption. That would mean he cured the Druid's corruption. And that would mean our other corruption is right here, right? Just working theory right now. Use Druid to see if she's telling the truth. That's fair. Yeah, she can't be corrupted. Unless then... If she is lying, then she is evil. Or 1 random outcast from Epiphany. So we'll just test with the Wretch and, like, 2 non-outcasts. There are no outcasts? Hey. So either you're corrupt and you're lying. If she were corrupt, she'd be dizzy. Right? So she cannot be actually corrupt. Which means Puka can't be here. I think that clears the Alchemist if there's only 2 evils, right? She would be dizzy if she was corrupted, and she would tell us that. Like, she does not lie. Cured? She would only be cured if it's a real alchemist as well. I think the alchemist is clear. But the fact that this one is lying means that he could have cured. Would he have... Hold on. Hold on, timeout. Eight, 1, and 2, there are no outcasts. That's a lie. Unless this wretch is somehow Puka up here. Is the alchemist clear? Closest evil is clockwise, which would mean it's either this night. It's one of these, right? If that's the case. If this one's telling the truth. Four and three both looking sketch. Yeah. Stab both of them. Is there any situation that it's not one of them? That's what I want to know. Kill 3. It's not looking good for 3. Alright, so hear me out. If let's say 3 is Puka, right? Let's operate under the assumption 3 is Puka. That would mean that these two are corrupted. That would mean that he's lying. And that his ability would not work if he was corrupted. Characters will lie and their ability will not work, so nobody's cured. Which would make sense as to why the Confessor would not be corrupted. Or dizzy. That would also mean that the Enlightened would be lying because they are corrupt. So I think this makes the most sense. I think you guys are right. I think it's 3. It's not 3. So you were telling the truth. And you aren't corrupted, so you're not Puka. So is it just 4 then? Or is 4 telling us that it's 5? There are no outcasts. That means that she was not corrupted? Wait. If there are no outcasts and she's not corrupted, that means the wretch has to be Puka, right? No, the wretch can't be Puka because the Confessor isn't... Unless the Confessor was cured by the Alchemist. It's 4? I was gonna say, I'm overthinking. I'm following threads here. Hold on. Yeah, it's 4. Yeah, the Alchemist would have cured her because it's a real Alchemist. If 5 was Puka, she would make 4 a wire. Wait, what? But if 5 was Puka, that would be the truth. Eight, 1, 2, there are no outcasts, and that's... How is that possible? This is what I want to know, because the Druid, it would tell us if they were corrupted when they died. The Druid is not corrupted, because they were cured. Is what it's looking like, so it is looking like 4. 5 is Puka, she would make 4. Why? But 4 is telling the truth. 5 is Puka. She would make 4. Why? I see what you're saying. Well, hopefully you're not corrupted. Getting mixed signals, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, okay. So that was absolutely possible, based on what was being said. Yeah, that's what I thought, but it's all good. I'm going to feed my animals real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Animals are fed. All as well. Let's see what we're looking at. Of course, there's a fucking... there's a baker, a drunk, a witch. Oh, boy. We're about to start busting doors down. This is the original baker. Good to know. This one could be lying about what they are, but we don't know. So the first baker flip saying they're the original baker has to be the truth, I think. Based on what I know. But I'm also, you know, I'm learning. Give me a break. 7 and 9. The drunk has to be a one-off, right? A villager not in play. Yeah. So... that would mean... God. Sure are a lot of copies in here. How are there so many copies here? Yeah, I think, based on what I know, one of the bakers is good. Because that was the first baker we flipped. And she is claiming to be the first baker. So I think she's fine. But yeah, we also have the two knitting characters and gem crafters. Those are not adjacent to each other. There are only two. So, right? Not like a puppeteer or anything. Yeah, okay. 9 was good. Both of these are agreeing with each other as well. That's odd. Yeah, that's confirmed. Good. 2's telling the truth? At 9. Yeah, okay. I see you. Is there anything that... the drunk would disguise as something that's not... there wouldn't be another of on the board. Because it's a villager not in play. Which means our duplicates have to be evil, right? Like, one of each duplicate. Except maybe the baker. But then... 6 is good? Bombardier does not disguise. Bombardier is pretty cut and dry. Just lose if you execute. It's an outcast and it's good. And I think Lilith only kills villagers. No, just unrevealed character. I can't reveal that because of the witch. That's tragic. One is evil. 5, 2, or 6. 5, 2, 6. It's not 2. 2 is clear. 4 is clear. 6 is good. Why are these saying the same thing? How do we get both of these saying the same thing? If we have multiple copies here. What am I missing? Because the drunk has to copy something that's not in play. Random not in play villager. We don't know what the last card is at the moment, which is rough. And we don't know what got killed, but we know they were good. At least Lilith gives us that information. I think it's safe to kill 7. And if 7's lying, then that means that 6 is also bad, but... is there any corruption? There's no? Well, the drunk is corrupt, but... they disguise as a one-off. Is it safe to kill 7? Yeah. The duplicates have to be evil. Or, like, one of them has to be evil, right? Yeah, okay. Hey, that's actually kind of big. Hold on. I'll take 2 damage for figuring out what this is. It's a bombardier. Okay. Nice. Witch out of the way. And if she's lying, then that means 6 should be evil. Sweet, is bombardier? Yep. Okay, sorry. Catch it up on chat. You got it. Yeah, if she's lying that 6 is good, then that should just mean that... Wait. How did this happen? If she's lying that 6... She's gotta be lying. She only lies. Evils are not adjacent to each other. But then why are you lying? There's only 2 evils. Oh, that's the drunk. Wait, I thought the drunk could only copy things that weren't in play. No, drunks can copy things that are in fact in play. Oh, it's not actually in play because it's a fucking demon. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't consider that. That was crazy that they were both, like, the exact same character and lying. Yeah, it wasn't actually in play. You are correct. That's wild. Alright. Last village in this set. Only 1 evil? Only 1 Puka? Oh my god, Puka, hi. Got a Doppel. Doppel disguises is a good villager currently in play. Okay. But we can flip everything safely. Yippee. Confessor's good. Love to see it. This Confessor is dizzy. There's also a second Confessor here, which is concerning. So that could be the Doppelganger, or they could be evil. If they're the Doppelganger, though, that means that they would have to be corrupted. Which means that you guys are sus. Everything in this boat is sus right now. 2 cards away from closest evil. It can't be her. So, you're saying that it's down here. So say one of them is confirmed good. The other one couldn't have been the drunk. One would be drunk. 6 is evil. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm just going back through chat and catching up, seeing where I was at. By drunks copying things not in play. So the villager that the drunk copied can't be an actual card that's in play. Because the other... Yeah, Daisy's got it. Okay, I'm seeing what's... I'm picking up what's putting down now. Yeah. One of them was confirmed good. The other one couldn't have been the drunk because that character's already on the board. Because it was disguised. Yeah. The actual knitter was not in play. It was a demon disguised as the knitter. Which meant that it was okay for the drunk to copy it as well. So there wasn't an actual one in play. They were just both disguised. Thanks, drunk. Evils are not adjacent to each other when there's only one is kind of funny because I think that has to be true. Left side is more evil. I'm leaning that way. I'm leaning that way. Okay, so let's say left side is more evil. 7 is real. I think you're good, which means either. Actually, no. If lies, I cannot kill my target. Yeah, okay. So left side is more evil. I think that's correct. I'm leaning towards it being the Confessor. If this is true, that means you're good. If you're good, that means if you were evil, you would be corrupted. Which means you're probably just corrupted, and you're probably evil. Wait. And that would mean that the hunter would also be giving a false reading. So this is what it's looking like in my head. Either way, he's not going to be able to actually do anything. Seems right? Yeah, that's the only thing that seems to make sense to me. We got really lucky there was only one evil there. That was pretty easy. Alright. Moving on. 3 evils. 3 evils. Jesus Christ, is there a baker? Of course there is. We've got a shaman that's going to copy a villager. We've got a baker. We've got a counselor that's going to turn a villager into one of these outcasts. Which could be a doppelganger disguised as something else that he's sitting next to. We've got Lilith who's going to whack whoever she pleases. At least we can reveal everything. Just, you know, We're gonna take damage from Lilith. Yeah, this one's gonna be rough. I am the original Baker? Okay. Checks out. At least we got one guaranteed clear. As if I understand the rules of Baker, then that one's clear. I was a Baker. What? Hold on. That's possible, actually, because the Shaman could have just duplicated a Baker. And if that's the case, then the Gem Crafter would be cleared as well. I want to clear these two, but we'll see. 8 checks out. 8 checks out if that is the case. Fetch. Alchemist. Is there corruption in play? There's not corruption in play. I don't think. Like, double check me here. You don't corrupt, you don't corrupt, you don't corrupt. Nobody here corrupts, there's no Plague Doc. He's just straight up lying. Yeah, I want to believe you, but I don't think we have 100% clearance on 8 and 2 yet. It sounds good, but I don't think we're like 100% there yet. We're gonna... Let's operate under the assumption that they're good for now, right? Let's try that. Not we'll do this. We're not guaranteed, but they're looking okay. 2 and 8 lies, I was mixed up. Maybe. Here's the thing, 2 could be an actual Baker, because the Shaman could have copied the original Baker. So it might not have been copied by the Baker effect, it may have been copied by the Shaman effect, if I'm understanding things right. I don't know how order of operations works here, but... I do think this is the Counselor. I think that would make a lot of sense for him to be next to the Wretch and be lying, because there is 0 corruption in play. Please don't be a bishop. 3 Bakers doing the Spider-Man point at each other. God damn it. That's really fucking funny. Oh, okay. What do we have? A Counselor. Lilith is basically bricked now. And a Shaman. They're basically all minions now, but the Counselor has to be next to an Outcast. And if they were good, this is our only Outcast. I don't know if this is a real Baker or not. These are thin ice. Part of me wants to swing on 2 just to see if 8's good. But then we're on thin ice at that point. 4 is safe to kill. I think 4 is safe to kill. There is 0 corruption here. Yeah, okay. It's not the Counselor, though. So hear me out. I think one of these Bakers... Oh my god, wait. All the Bakers could be... There could be 2 Bakers and a Doppelganger. Because the Shaman could have cloned one, and then the Doppelganger could have, would be saying that they were a Baker. To his Counselor? Well... 5 could be lying. 5 could be lying because if 6 is the Doppelganger, that is an Outcast, which means the Counselor could be sitting next to them and Evils would be adjacent, which means he would be lying. It's possible. If I'm like picking up everything here correctly. There's no corruption. There are 3 Evils. So let's say I'm going to mark this as the Doppel, which means don't swing on it. I'm going to mark this operating under the assumption that it's the Counselor for now. But this is just running the scenario in my head. Let me cook. This is the original Baker. That's confirmed. If 2 is good, then 8 is good. I think I can figure this out. No Outcasts? You're lying. And there's no corruption. There's the Counselor. He's next to a Doppelganger. So this could have been another Gem Crafter. Or that one could be calling themselves the original Baker when this is actually, like, the Baker card that was in the deck. But because we flipped this one first, it's going to say it's the original Baker. Oh my god, this is fucked. I hate Bakers so goddamn much. Jesus Christ. I think all the Bakers are actually clean. But that clears that, and yeah, that means that 5 would be lying, right? We did it. Let's go. We got there. Kill whole village. Perfect. That one was good. I like that. That was fun. Witch, a puppeteer, and Bob. Bob's gonna knock off a wretch or a doppelganger. Alright, chat, pick a number. 1 through 9. Don't say exclamation point fish because I'm gonna fish first. You're gonna have to wait. God damn it. Me when I get you. Me when I fucking get you. 8 bakers spread like a fungus. They really do. Okay, no 8. So, womp, 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 womp. Hopefully we find an outcast in here. Of course not. Is there a doppelganger? Perhaps. Oh, there are 3 jesters. I only saw these 2. God damn it. Okay. One of the jesters has to be evil because there's only a doppelganger potentially. Yeah. We really need to get that witch out of here. Again, puppeteer probably has a puppet next to him unless he's scrunched between the other 2 evils. 5 or 3 is puppeteer. Is what Oracle was saying. I cured 0 corruptions. Is there any corruption? No corruption. So the alchemist is... I think he's clear. I think that clears him, because otherwise he would try to say that he cleared a corruption. Yeah, 2 is safe. You got that. Right side is more evil? I am 1 card away from the closest evil. Alright, hear me out. This is like running theory. This is literally just running a scenario. 5 or 3 is puppeteer. I think one of these is the puppeteer and one of these is the puppet. Like, I feel like the hunter fell victim to being the puppet here. Or I guess the alchemist could be. Use 1 on the gestures? Maybe. There's no corruption. So... Jesters can also rat themselves out if you have, like, good information, like solid information somewhere. But all we have right now is that the alchemist is telling the truth. He could still be a puppet, potentially. Especially if Oracle is telling the truth. So, like, if 3's puppeteer, alchemist could be telling the truth, but he's a puppet. Yeah, I like using 1 on 3, actually. I think that's good. Couldn't kill 3. He could be evil as well. We don't know. Because if he's lying, then he wouldn't be corrupted. But if he's lying, then he, we'll say that he couldn't kill them. This is rough because we don't know what the last one is either. Oh man, I'm about to just start swinging on this one. Let's see. It's 3 to check 6 and 7. Could do that. Check like 5, 6, and 7. Or like 6, 7, and 9. 6, 7, and 9, there are 0 evils. If you're telling the truth, that would mean that this is the original Jester. Like, one of these is the original, one of these is the doppelganger, and that she's good. And if one's the original, and one's the doppel, that would mean this one would have to be evil, if that is the truth. I think. I'm really getting a hunch that it's like... Yeah, so... I think... Hold on. They disguise as something that's in play, right? No, just a different role. Hmm. The doppelganger has to disguise as something that is currently in play. That is if we have a doppelganger. We don't know because the witch is blocking it, sadly. We can't see if this is a wretch. If this is a wretch, we don't have a doppelganger, and we have a problem. With these fucking jesters, we have a real problem. So this is literally just gut intuition. Like, this is just a guess. What I'm feeling right now is 3 is puppeteer. 9 is telling the truth about that. So let's operate under this assumption. You're good. You're the puppeteer, which means one of you is telling the truth about the puppeteer being there, but being evil. And then one of you has to go. But I also think that means that one, in that case, would have to be evil. To not kill the puppeteer. Because there's no corruption. Kill 5? If this is leaning this way, then 5 would be correct. This is, again, this is all speculation. 5 sus? 5 sus. One of these jesters is definitely not real, though. Or definitely not definitely evil. So this is just like me running scenarios in my head to see if there's anything that doesn't track with this one. Let me do another gesture, because technically, since there's no corruption, what if I use these 2 gestures on the exact same ones that I used on this one, and found out which one was lying? That seems viable, right? Why are they all giving me different answers? Fuck. Alright. Alright. How does this happen? Alright, we have more information now, at least. So, let's clear the markers that I was operating off of before. I still think the alchemist is good. I think that's the, like, at least he's not lying. He's fine. I fear for the hunter. I think the hunter is the puppet. Need to kill 3 or 5. Yeah, I think it's looking that way. It's looking kind of grim. How many of them? Unless one of these is telling the truth and both of them are... that there is no... Let's say there is no doppelganger. If one of these is telling the truth, then 2 of them are evil. But we don't know because the fucking witch is blocking that last card. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the ad break and use the restroom really quick, but I'll be back on this one. A moment. Sorry if stream goes wonky from this. Okay, we'll get the music back on. Okay, quick potty break. Thank you so much. Hello, Raiders. Hello, Sixy. Hi, everybody. Oh, God. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Sixy. Hello, Raiders. Thank you so much for the raid. Sorry. I literally just got done running an ad break and using the restroom. I just sat back down. Oh, what's good? How's it going? Let's see something before I can hear anything interesting after something. Yeah, you do you. Let me get you a shout out really quick. Do. Playing the Drifter. Nice. How was the stream? Hope it went well. As you can see, we are, for those that don't know, I am Big Stupid Bear. I'm a variety streamer, and today we are playing Demon Bluff, a little deduction-based card game, kind of like Town of Salem. You find your evils amongst your villagers and execute them. And if somebody is a drunk in town, they're probably getting whacked. But no, I hope all is going well. Hello, everybody. Anybody that needs to get their after-stream care, by all means, feel free to do so. Get your rest, your snacks, get you a drink, stretch your legs, whatever you gotta do. Very important to take care of yourself. Also, feel free to fish. Is that a fucking razor scoot? I saw a post recently that just made me giggle a bit, and that was Achilles would have got his shit rocked by a razor scooter, and I feel like that's real. That is super fucking real. Destroyer of ankles. Okay, I have my drink. I'm sat back down. Everything is good. Throw that back. Hey, yo, right now? I think we're going to need a bigger donation to throw it back on stream. But, no, hold on. I mean, if it's the scooter, I mean, if you don't want it, I'll take a razor scooter. Even if it is rusty and old. Alright, but as you can see, we are in a bit of a pickle right now. Hey, hello. Welcome in. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for bringing the raid over here and trusting your community over here. I'm sorry in advance. As you can see, we're doing Demon Bluff, and we are in a bit of a pickle at the moment. There do be a lot of evils here. Ascension 7, yeah, I've been going for a little bit. We got a lot of bullshit here right now. We're probably about to have to start swinging in the dark. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm confident. I feel like we can do all right. A little worried at the moment. I made it to 4 before I got fed up for the day. I played up to 4 last night when I checked it out, finally. Which, thank you again for reminding me about it, Avalon. Very cool. Very fun game. But, I'm glad I checked it out because I played up to Ascension 4. And, then I got back on it and I was like, man, this is actually going fairly well, so might as well stream it a little bit. And I've been having a blast with this game. I love it. I can't wait to see the full release. It's already great. But, so far, it's looking rough. I mentioned the other night, and I wanted to spread it out. Yeah, absolutely. Like, one of my friends, our friend Luffy had already told me about it. I had watched our friend Hayes stream it, like, the day before. I was like, man, yeah, I should really pick this up. This looks like a lot of fun. Did I play it because of Avalon or did I know about this game already? Both would be the right answer. So, I knew about it beforehand. Because, like I said, a friend told me about it, and I watched someone play it recently. A couple people play it recently. But then, I was about to get off for the night last night, or I was just kind of like, I just got done doing whatever I was doing. And then I saw the Discord post that Avalon made about, like, bringing it up again. I was like, right, I should download that. So I finally did, and I'm very glad I did. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. And in honor of you, I'm going to kill this jester. It was the puppet! Or the puppeteer. God, I'm fucking good at this. That means you're full of shit. Alright. Okay. That means one of you two is the puppet. Sorry. Both of you were telling the truth. So that's rough. 2? It could be 2. Either way, I'm wanting to say the architect is right now. Actually, no, the architect has to be cleared now. Among 6, 7, and 9, there are 2 evils. I don't think that's true. I think the puppet's over there. Somewhere. Like, it's got to be one of these two. 9 also cleared. 5 or 3 is puppeteer. Yeah. So 9 is cleared. Very cool. Sadly, we didn't get the witch, so we can't see what 8 is. Oh, but what I was saying, while you had your outro stuff going on, 60, was if you have to get your after stream care, if you have to get your snacks, drink, get up, stretch your legs, rest, do whatever you gotta do. I appreciate the raid. Thank you so much for trusting the community over here, and I am sorry in advance for trusting me with your community. But we're gonna be over here whacking it. And by it, I mean my villagers. I haven't already made that joke this stream. Shut up, chat. Don't tell them. I'm sure I can figure this out between the hints from the gestures, but it's looking like they're both. One of them's kind of rough. But yeah, otherwise feel free to kick your feet up and enjoy. That's what we do. 6, 7, and 9. There's one equal. 6, 7, and 9. There's 2. Well, 9 is clear. So at least one of you is fucking lying. If the puppet's over there somewhere, that means the 2 one has to be lying, right? The community is a bunch of little goblins, so no biggie. Perfect. Alright, y'all will get along just perfectly here then. Right, 6, 7, and 9, there are 2 evils. That is literally not possible. Perfect. It was another alchemist. Which is probably... Ooh. I don't think anything else copies but the doppelganger here, so that means one of the alchemists is the doppelganger. I think you're fine. Either way. Yeah, it could be doppel. 6 is witch, 6 is witch. Which means 7 was cleared. But that just means we're looking for the puppet now, and that means it has to be one of these 2. Oh, it is... It is a coin flip, I think. Is there any way to narrow this down? There's no further way to narrow this down. I'm sorry, little one. I had a gut feeling it was the hunter early on, buddy. I'm sorry if it's you, or if it's not you. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you just go with your guess. Alright, Shaman, Counselor, Ba. Not the worst. Ba's gonna knock off one of these. Hopefully it's a doppel. There is no corruption in play. There will be one justified clone. Alchemist is really good if we can find it. Original Baker's up here. Was a Baker, could be a doppel. Either one could be a doppel. Would y'all shut the fuck up? I was a Baker, I was a Baker, 4 fucking Bakers. I'm good. At least there's a good confessor. I have never seen 4 Bakers before. This is insane. I am 2 cards away from a corrupted character. There's no corruption. Shut up. That means one of these is a doppelganger. Probably this one, honestly. The bard outing himself immediately. Just like an actual D&D party. 2 bombardiers. Doppel only disguises themselves as a good villager. I hate. Yeah, and there are 2 of the same villager roles in the current village. So one of the Bakers could have gotten shamaned. They could have gotten cloned by the shaman, and the other one could be a doppelganger. I'm an alchemist, or I was an alchemist. I mean, yeah, that tracks. We don't have an alchemist. I want to say this is right. This is just me going with my gut, and that makes this the doppel. Which, I mean, means it's also good. But I hate to say it, I think one of the bombardiers is... We're going to have to coin flip on that. But hear me out. If this is the doppel, one of these is the original Baker. And one got shamaned. So that explains why there are 3. Well, that were actual Bakers, and then this one was an alchemist. Just got here. What order did I flip in? Clockwise. So, This baker right here is very likely a doppelganger that thinks it was the original baker. This also could very well be a baker, and this could be a shaman clone, or either way, because we have a shaman and a doppel. And yeah, 2 bombardiers is, that can't normally happen with what we have in play, I don't think. Shaman can't clone a villager. Doppel disguises as a good villager. So one of the bombardiers is evil. For sure. I want to say the bakers are clear in this room. I'm not gonna lie. I feel good about them. That can't be the case though. One of them's gotta be, I think one of them's gotta be evil, unless the dreamer's hiding something. Counselor added himself immediately. That was very kind of him. If this is the doppelganger... One could be Counselor. Hey, the Counselor's up there. That's crazy. Shut up. Now we have to 50-50 on bombardiers. Oh, boy. You feel lucky, chat? I hate this. I hate this screen right now. Because that's the thing. What do you streamer on Bombardier? The only reason I didn't was because I knew for a fact, or at least, like, it is very, very likely that this baker is our doppelganger. So if they didn't call them out, if they called them out as evil, especially in this case Counselor, which we already have, that's an out because we don't have any corruption. So he outed himself. I don't feel like you pick. I don't know. I feel like I trust chat. I think that was an alchemist. I think you're the doppel. I think one of you is the baker and one of you is the shaman clone. 5 is clearly evil. 5? Okay. Anybody want to refute that? You know what? Actually, let's make it interesting. Let's make it interesting, chat. Hold on. Do. Watch it fucking be that one of the bakers is somehow evil and there's just a second bombardier because the Counselor made another one. Hold on, is that possible? Ba got rid of the wretch. Hold on. Yeah, Ba got rid of the wretch. One of the bakers... God, one of the bakers could fucking be lying. But if that's the case, then who got cloned? By the shaman? No, I think there has to be 3 bakers. I was going to... I am... I'm second-guessing myself too much here. I think I need to read the Counselor again just to make sure. When villager becomes an outcast role, I sit next to an outcast. Kill 6 and then 5? I mean, it's possible. There's no Doppel and 2 Bombardier checks out. Doppel can't clone a outcast. It only copies a villager, a good villager. But there is a Doppel. It's one of the 3 bakers that's not the alchemist. That's why it would say it was a baker. Yeah, I think we have to... God, I hate this. Yeah, Counselor has to be next to an outcast, which means I think this has to be our doppelganger. That's how I got there. Oh boy. All right, hold on. We're gonna put a prediction up. Do.
Right. Extra noses pants is on you. Ooh, you're so warm.
Thanks for that, Luffy. Appreciate it. We're gonna have a secret third option as well. Submission period for this. We're gonna do 2 minutes, chat. You get to vote. You get to see, put your points in. Place your bets. On, the fucking dude. Place your bets. Where do we think the evil's at? The evil. What even is it? Oh, it's the shaman, right? Where's our shaman? I can't actually predict anything, but I want to watch. I just want to see the points go up. Damn, alright. Big on one already. Give it a couple minutes to run out here, but, yeah, no, I'm fairly certain. So, with the way the counselor works, one villager becomes an outcast role, and I sit next to an outcast. But I think that normally only means that, like, one of them in the deck became an outcast because of him, and that's why we have... That's basically why we have a bombardier at all. And why something was able to disguise this one. So in this case, like, the alchemist was a baker. We probably had our medium become a bombardier, and then something disguised as that bombardier. That's the operating theory I'm working on. These have got to be the nicest villains I've ever fought in a video game. If you're talking about in this game, I mean, some of them are nice. These two were really stupid, thankfully. Ba and Counselor did not get along this round. Time is running out for your predictions. Like this, somebody put 50 on a baker. Oh, and Bonanza, nice. Beat them and like, oh, okay, I'll help you now. That's how kind of them. All right, chat. Got your bets in? I heard people cheering for 5. Baker for sure. All right. Survey says... You know, if you think about it, we really could just kill a baker first to be safe, because it's not going to matter with the bombardier, but I mean, yeah! Well... I hope you're happy, Shadow. That was an innocent clone, probably. Anyway, here's number 5. Hey! Alright. Poor bakers. Well, they shouldn't have been that way. They shouldn't be the way they are. Alright, prediction outcome. It was number 5. Choose outcome 5. Enjoy your extra channel points. Congratulations on your successful bets. Should have been 2 cards away from number 9. I mean, that's fair. Put them next to each other. It's gonna be pretty nice. Oh, I can see details here. Let's see what we got. 2,200 points going to Avalon and Shadow Walker. Grats. Good job, y'all. Also, big. Actually big. All of the bakers were fucking real, except for the one that was an alchemist. Oh, I see Lilith is in play. Hold on. Okay, so it's Lilith and who? A poisoner, and a doppelganger, and a plague doctor. You know what that means, chat? About to get corrupt as fuck in here. Gonna have an awful lot of politicians in this circle. Some people are about to start fucking dying. There's a plague doc. Yeah, nothing would have been removed. Okay, that's fine. I'll take the hit. 1 is a real alchemist. Maybe. 7 is good. Well, there's 2 mediums. But Doppelganger Disguises is one good villager currently in play. But we don't know what died. Also fun. I think it was... It's looking like it might have been the judge that got offed. So if the judge got off, that kind of sucks. But that means that one of these mediums is probably a doppelganger. Very good chance. Because it has to copy a villager that's in play. And if it's copying... We learned from one round that if it is copying a villager that is in play... That means that a demon disguised as that villager does not count as that card being in play, so it couldn't be copied. Or I guess a demon could disguise itself as something else in play as well. Let's see. How much corruption is there? I think there's 2 in play. Poisoner could corrupt. Plague Dot corrupts. 1 random. 4 don't make sense. I am 3 cards away from the closest evil. What's that pointing to? That's pointing to those 2. Why does that not make sense? Help me understand. Because there are only 2 evils. One is a real alchemist and 2 is a real lover, is what they're saying. There's a good chance that the alchemist is real. Like, statistically speaking. Because with 2 corruptions, he's covering that much space. He probably did hit 1. So if 4 is true, then 7 and 1 lies. 4 is true, 7 and 1 lies. That's true, because they kind of go off of each other, don't they? So 4 is true. And let's say... Well, let's go off of that. Let's say that 4 does not add up. It would either be corrupted or evil, right? Let's say it's corrupted. Let's say I got hit by, like, Plague Dot corruption or something. Actually, let's say it's telling the truth. What happens if it's telling the truth, right? 7 and 1 lie. If it happens to be... Oh, I see what you're saying, because they would be equidistant. 3 cards away from closest evil. I don't think he calls out equidistant, though. I think the other one that shows which direction does. Yeah, he doesn't call out equidistant. That would have helped. But I think I still see what you're saying. So let's say he's telling the truth, right? Then we go over to 7. If it is 7, that is, like, evil in this case. Or, yeah, he would basically mean that one of them is evil. So let's say that's the case. If that's the case, then that outs 2. Right? But if 1 is the case... then that would mean that this medium is lying. And that he is corrupted. Well, hold on, yeah. That can't be, then. Yeah, I think Hunter is either corrupted or evil. I think you're right. I'm seeing it now. And already take a break from headset? I feel that. Should have an innocent baker murdered tally. I don't know if I'd have enough room on the screen for that. The last one was for funsies. Imagine coming down to a 50-50 on 2 bombardiers. Fuck me. I think we're going to have to use the Plague Dock ability and kind of start... Someone's going to have to possibly take a fall here. So... The The only thing that's possible if he's telling the truth is that 7 is evil. If 7 is evil, or that 7 is, well, yeah, that 7 is evil. He specifically says evil, not lying, like not corrupted. That would also mean that 9 is corrupted somehow. Corrupted or evil. That would also mean that 7 is lying about 2 being a real lover. And they're... I don't think they're a doppelganger unless this was a lover as well. That's tough. I think I want to use the Plague Doc to see if the hunter is corrupt. And then go from there, because that gives us some information either way. Because if the Plague Doc's lying, then I mean... something's wrong with him. Let's see. Number 4 is not corrupted, so... I want to say he's just evil, then. We're going to mark him as evil for now. So if he's not... hold on, if he's not corrupted... let's just run with that again. If that's true, and he's telling the truth, then that means that the alchemist can't be evil. Or the alchemist can't be evil. Because otherwise, the closest evil to him would be this one. Because it would also be lying. Which narrows it down to this medium. Which means that they are an evil. In fact, an evil. And that would mean that the lover is telling... or that this is not a real lover. But it could be a doppel, because this could have been another lover in play. We don't know. What else did we have in play? Oh, never mind. I think it was the judge that got it. I guess we don't have any way of knowing, though. That is my operating assumption, is that the judge got whacked. Doppel's got to be one of the mediums, I want to say. But unless they're corrupted, they'll still tell the truth. Some real brain strain. I think I'm just gonna have to take a swing here and start figuring out if the Plague Doc was telling the truth or not, basically. 2 is a real lover. Here's the thing. If both of the... we've had a situation like this before, where 2 of the same card were saying... they were saying the same thing, but this is like both just saying different things. 2 of the same card that were in play were both actually not in play. One was a drunk, so it could copy something that wasn't in play, and one was a demon copying something that, you know, wasn't actually in play. So what do we do about this? What's the best thing to try to execute first? Because 9 could just be corrupted or lying, if 7 is in fact evil. I think we have to I feel like we have to try to kill 7. That, or the Plague Doctor could be telling the truth, and the Hunter's just fucking evil. I think we get information either way if we kill the Hunter or the medium here, so I'm gonna try killing the Hunter. Yeah, okay. So, that was correct. They're not corrupted. Plague Doc's good. Means you might be good. Not out of the woods entirely, but I think you're fine. So yeah, 4 did not add up. Correct. Well done. No evils adjacent to me. This doesn't necessarily clear 7. One is a real alchemist. There are 2 corruptions that we have not found, potentially. But there's only the poisoner left. So hear me out. Let's just go around the circle here. Let's just start running scenarios. Let's say the gem crafter's telling the truth. right? 7 is good. That means we can clear 7. That would be ideal. That means that... because even the Doppel is considered good. It is a good outcast. So even if it's the Doppel, that means that one of these is real. One of these is, you know... Well, they could be... Well, no. If they're... This card was good. This card was Lilith. Which means that this card cannot be corrupted. Interesting. Can't be corrupted. Could be evil. Could be lying. But if it's lying, then that's not a real alchemist, and I don't think that's possible. So I think that actually clears the medium and, like, both mediums here. This isn't operating off of the Gemcrafter theory. This is a standalone. I think this is guaranteed. I think this medium's in the clear. I think 5's good. That makes 1 a real alchemist. Cured 1 corruption? That's possible. It's possible no one's actually lying from corruption because he cured it. And that the lover is... Well, hold on. That would mean that... 2 is good, then kill 8. This is operating under the assumption that 9 is telling the truth. Like, this is just running a scenario, basically. I do think 5 is guaranteed to be good, and I think that means 1 is guaranteed to be good. And if he cured 1 corruption, that means the 1 corruption could still be in play. So, 2, 7, 8, and 9 are all still technically. So what happens if 8's the, or if 2 is the lover, right? Let's say, or if 2 is the poisoner. That means that 7 is wrong. And if 7 is wrong, that would mean that the poisoner would have had to be the bombardier here. Because one of these is a doppelganger. Right? Assuming this is the judge. That's a big assumption, by the way, but it's possible. I think these 3 just clear each other. No evil's adjacent to me. We know the Plague Doc's fine, because he was right. I cured 1 corruption. Yeah, it could just be the Bombardier. Bombardier's just risky, because if we take a swing and miss, we lose. So I want to make damn sure. Can 9 lie? Can 9 be lying right now? 7 is good. If 7 is good, or if 7 is not good, that means that 2 is not a real lover. Which would mean that the Gemcrafter and the lover would be damned, and I don't think we can have that. I don't think that's possible, because we only have 1 evil left. I really do think it's the Bombardier here. Wouldn't Doppelganger make 3 outcasts, not 2? You have Bombardier and Plague already? Not necessarily. Well, 3 outcasts in play? Yes. But because they always disguise as a good villager... Also, what's good, DL Reap? Because they always disguise as a good villager, the only one that makes sense, unless there was another copy here that we couldn't see, is the medium. Because it's one that's already in play. It has to be a villager that is in play already. So unless this was like another lover or something, which I guess it could have been, but based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like it was probably the judge. I don't know if that's 100% guarantee, but that seems like, you know, it seems reasonable. Yeah, because they're... Hold on. Let me... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Not everything would technically be in play, but there are 2 mediums. Yeah, it's leading me to believe that the Doppelganger is probably one of the mediums. 5 is cleared. 3 is cleared. And if 5 is cleared, then 1 is cleared. That's the guarantees that we have. This card was evil. This card is good. Or was good before it died. Otherwise, Lilith wouldn't have killed it. Yeah, I think 9, 7, and 2 clear each other, but I'm really trying to make sure before I swing on a Bombardier, because that's bad news bears if that's wrong. No evil's adjacent to me. I think the lover's correct. Which means that the lover is real, which means that 9 is good. I think it's the Bombardier. I think that's just it. I think that's the only option here. I'll take the risk. Yeah. And that was our doppel. Yep. It was corrupted. Nobody, because the alchemist was real and he cured it. Beautiful. Alright. That's a big deck. We got a Lilith, we got a Poisoner, we got a Puppeteer. We got a Plague Doc. Oh, it's all coming up Millhouse. Sorry, I had to deal with something real quick. Okay. Lilith can kill evil. She will not kill herself if she's the last to flip, though. Let's just say unrevealed character. Alright, well, time to start flipping. Someone's probably gonna die. Is there corruption in play? There's a Plague Doc in play, so yes. And a poison. So 2 corruption in play, potentially. Hopefully we can find a confessor and they don't get fried. Hopefully that wasn't our confessor. Hey, there's our confessor. Very cool. Take a little bit of damage, that's fine. You are either evil or corrupted. Understood. Because she cannot lie. 5 or 2 is the poisoner. He cured 1 corruption, he says. That's if he's real. Closest evil counterclockwise. 1 evil adjacent to me. Let's see. I think about how I want to handle this. Five or 2 is the poison. Closest evil counterclockwise. There's 1 evil adjacent to you. That would point to the fortune teller, but we have no way of knowing if that's real or not. 2 characters in life, if any of them are evil. Be nice if we had the confessor, like, clean then, but she is not clean right now. She is in fact not good, not having a great time. I don't know, we could just swing on the Bombardier and call it a day. If I could find someone that I know is corrupted, that would be helpful. Because then we can kind of go off of the Plague Doc play. As of right now, especially with 2 corruptions, it's very hard to tell if any of them is evil. Hey, Plague Doc, is she corrupted? 5 is corrupted and 2 is evil. That would mean that there was no actual corruption cured. Just have to make a play off of that. Let's see if the fortune teller agrees with that. Is 5 or 2 evil? False. Okay, we have more information now at least. Oracle said 5 or 2 is the poisoner. If we hit the alchemist here, that would give us information at least. We still have another swing, even if we miss. Because if 2 is not evil... Oh, hold on. Let's just... swing first, ask questions later. Okay. He was real. That means he actually cured 1 corruption. That's good to know. That means there's only 1 corruption in play. We have information from this. Only 1 corruption is in play. That means that you are lying. Does that mean that you are evil or corrupted? I see. Five or 2 false. That means a plague doctor was not in play. Which means that there was only 1 case of corruption, which means because the alchemist was real, it's cured. Nobody is corrupted, which means that the confessor has to be evil? Correct? Yes. And the card that got cured of his corruption, of the poisoner's corruption, was number 4 then. Which also means that you have to be a puppet. What? Oh no, we didn't get a puppet because it was just Lilith. Hey, that's even better. We'll take that deal. You take that deal? I take that deal. Damn good deal. Very cool. I was waiting for there to be a situation where the puppeteer was like crammed between 2 evils so the puppet didn't actually exist. Absolutely take those. What are we looking at? Ba and Shaman. The Bauman. Let's see. What are the problems here? Drunk. Mostly the drunk. Doppel's not that bad. Shaman's interesting, but not that bad. We can flip everything safely. Oh man, now we don't know if it's a drunk or a doppelganger that got bopped off by Ba. Of course, it'll probably be the doppel. I feel like the... just based on my fucking luck, of course the drunk will be left, but we'll see. Wait. Oh, they can't lie. That means one of the... that means the doppel's still here and the drunk got bumped off by Ba. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's huge. 2 confessors that are good, that's massive. 7 is evil. Just the poet, just like that bitch right there. You should really fucking deal with them. 1 evil adjacent to me. I could just be the scout. Or the lover could just be lying. Dreamer is also helpful. 7 is evil. Let's just test that. Let's see if the dreamer agrees. 7 could be shaman. It's 2 hands pointing at it. You're sus. Ba is 2 cards from closest to evil. Which means that if the scout is the one telling the truth, then the lover could be evil. Because that would track with... 3 and 4 are in fact not. I think we have to kill 1 first. Because the Empress here is telling us that 3 and 4 could be evil. And that 1 is the only other option. Because these 2 are confessors and they are good. They cannot lie. 1 evil adjacent to you. 7 could be shaman. So hear me out. I think this is good. I think this is good. I think these are our evils. Because the rest of these track. And if we kill 1 and it's not correct, then we have information to go off of based on that. You were the drunk? You stupid bitch. Alright, well, we still have 2 swings. It's in the title. Drunks will be mauled. Anyway, moving on. So they were lying, but it doesn't necessarily mean the others are. Ba is 2 cards from closest to evil. That could still be wrong. They could literally be right next to each other right now. 7 is evil. 7 is evil is the one that sketches me out because it's a bombardier. 4, 1, and 3 are... 1 is evil. Hold on. Actually, never mind. Yeah, I think you're evil then. Because there's no corruption, right? Nope. Well, now that the drunk's dead anyway. Yeah. So none of these were evil. That means you're a bitch. Bot is 2 cards from the closest evil. It can't be the Confessor. If you are telling the truth, it's the Bombardier. So let's say... These are both saying Shaman, and they can't both be lying because we only have one more liar. So yeah. All the rest of them track. Very cool. Let's see if we can get through this this final Village of Ascension 7. Hopefully we're good. Oh my god, Puka, hi. A nice little minion. That's nice. We don't have to... No extra bullshit here. So potentially 1 corruption, potentially 4 evil. Oh, sorry, potentially 3 corruption because Puka's here. But we can flip everything safely at least. Alright, you're dizzy, so that's a bad sign. 7's real Plague Doc. There are no corrupted characters, that's a lie. I have 3 cards away from closest evil. There are no corrupted characters. That is also a lie. There are 2 pairs of evil. That could be possible. 7's real Plague Doc. There are, what, up to 3 corrupted characters. Did this bard get corrupted? One is not corrupted. Well, we're about to have some information to go off of. That's huge, actually. That means that these 2 are corrupted. And that explains why he's lying. But that means that the Dreamer will lie. We can use... I think we can use that to our advantage, probably, right? That also marks 2 of our corruptions, which is huge. And that means the Plague Doctor is clear. That could mean that the other, what's it called? The other corruption just hit this Confessor. It's because this is also just a fucking lie. Well, these ones aren't necessarily not evil. They're corrupted if possible, but if they're evil, I mean, they're gonna be lying anyway. We could also use the Judge just to see what's going on with people. 7 is real Plague Doctor. 6 is actually also cleared. It's very nice. 2 pairs of... I want to believe in the 2 pairs of evil, actually. I feel like there's going to be someone by Puka. It's just finding out who it is. So hear me out. I have a theory. I think we're looking at... I don't know which one it is next to Puka, but I feel like one of them is evil. I think the Knitter is fine. And I think our Puppeteer is the Bard, and the Judge is the Puppet. Or I guess it could be either of them. I guess they're both telling the truth. Well, maybe telling the truth. We haven't checked the Judge yet. Oh, God. Scared the shit out of me. Hello, Vulture. What's good? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi, everybody. I'm Big Stupid Bear, and we're playing a card game where we make very poor decisions about killing our villagers. And assuming that they are evil. Thank you so much. What were you guys up to? How was your stream? How'd everything go? Shout out. There's a Shin Chan game? Hold on. Shiro and the Cult out. How is that? That sounds wild. Very chill. It will. Oh, yes, absolutely. That's amazing. Like, that has got to be so unhinged. Also, thank you for the sub. Oh, that was Luffy gifting the sub. Never mind. No one is safe from that man's subscription gun. He will fire it indiscriminately. Everybody get down. But guys, if you have not already, please go check out our friend Drunk Vulture. Very cool. Big fish, by the way. My God. You know, shout out to getting the free cast of your line for a casual legendary catch in the fishing game, by the way, from being gifted that sub. Kind of huge, actually. Appreciate you, hell yeah. But yeah, If you guys haven't seen this game before, or if you don't know me, I am Big Stupid Bear. I am a variety streamer. We are currently checking out this game called Demon Bluff, which is kind of Town of Salem-esque. You have your evils hiding amongst your villagers that have different effects. And Luffy got a fucking skateboard, bro. That's rad. Honestly, big wins all around. But right now, it's a deduction game. You're trying to figure out who's evil, who's not, and how many bakers you have to kill before you root out who is actually corrupted in the society. But also, I fully understand if your stream is taking it out of you. Get your stream aftercare if you need to. Take you a break. Get some snacks. Get some water. Whatever you gotta do. Stretch. Get a Beppis, maybe. If you need to rest, I fully understand. If you need to raid and run, that's fine. Otherwise, kick your feet up and relax. Happy to have you. We're probably about to start killing indiscriminately, by the way. I feel, like I said, my baker probably made brownies with the devil's lettuce. That's not execution worthy. I mean, come on. But, like, also, when you have 4 bakers all saying they're a baker, and all of them are telling the... Well, okay, it was 3 saying that they were a baker. 1 said that they were an alchemist at one point. And they're all telling the fucking truth. Fuck bakers. God, I'm so goddamn tired of bakers in this game. I think drunks are worse. Drunks are still my least favorite. No offense. Friendly vulture. But drunks in this game are a bitch. Hey, Judge. Is she lying? He's telling the truth. But you're not. Which means you're either corrupt, or you're probably a puppeteer. That's a puppeteer, which means one of these two is the puppet. Oh, I'm so sorry, little ones. Bakers must fight to the death. There can only be one. If I could make them go into the center of town and fight to be the only baker, I absolutely would at this point. Throw the drunk in there too. Why not? He could be a baker maybe eventually. Let's see. You're telling the truth. Could be a minion. You're also telling the truth. Wait, you should be corrupted. Why are you telling the truth? Interesting. There was no alchemist to cure you. Why are you not corrupted? 5 is in fact a minion. That's strange. I don't know how that works. Is it a... There's no way it's a double negative situation, right? I don't think... I'm about to just start whopping. There are 2 pairs of you. You could also just be fucking cool. Then we don't know where shit's at. Oh, man, I don't like this. Because these 2 are corrupted. So these 2 will be lying. Why are you not lying? I'm so confused by that. Spooka corrupts adjacent villagers if possible. Is there any way it's not a villager? Oh, wait. It doesn't mean a minion like the tag. It means the enemy minion. Okay, so it is... That checks. It is in fact lying. I mean, I guess that doesn't fucking tell me anything. I know it would be lying. This is rough. Because both of these will tell the truth. I mean, both of these are telling the truth, but one of them is a puppet. That's rough. What gives me more information? Hitting the judge or hitting the medium here? What happens if I hit the judge? Right? I guess there's still a possibility that it's like the confessor, and no, it wouldn't be both of those. Because there are potentially 4 in play. Actually, no, it can't be 4. The puppet would tell the truth, the other evil would be lying. So they can't all be. Like, both of these can't be. I think it has to be the judge as the puppet, right? Nope, he was good. There's the puppet. Tragic. Sorry, judge. Anyway. But that means that there is currently... I can't clear you. I did that because it was probable, not impossible. You're dizzy, which means you could be evil or corrupted. The Plague Doctor corrupts one target that is not one of these two. Huh. So either let's just run under the assumption. Let's run the scenario, right? Actually, I'm gonna think about this one. We're gonna get our 3-minute ad break out of the way, and I'll think about this while we're doing that. But I do need to use the restroom anyway, so we'll do that real quick. And we'll be right back. All right, I am back. Let's run some scenarios here. What are we missing? We're missing a minion. Doesn't do anything special. 1 corruption is in play from the Plague Doctor. Aside from the 2 around Puka, we know that those are lying. Like, we can guarantee these are lying. So let's say that the knitter down here is, in fact... Let's say they're good. If they are good, that would mean that the Confessor caught the corruption from the Plague Doctor. And that one of the 2 around Puka is evil. Now what if they're not? What if they are the one with the corruption? If they're the one with the corruption, that means that their tooltip is false. And that the Confessor is just straight up evil. That's what that gets us. I should have used the Dreamer to check the Confessor, actually. Because I know they'd lie about her. That would have been so good. This is rough. The logic is logicking. Yeah, I'm trying here. I think those are the two scenarios, and I hate the first one because it literally is down to another coin flip with the way that I played this. Because if they're telling the truth, that means that this is a corruption, this is a coin flip. If they're not telling the truth, that means they're corrupted. I think we've cleared them of being, like, completely fucking evil, though, right? What if they're evil? Could they just be a minion lying? That would mean that there are not two adjacent pairs. The corruption's here. So there's... God, this is bad. This is real bad. This is bad chat. What are we feeling? Does anybody got any educated guesses here? What the skibbity? How dare you? How dare you walk in here and hit me with what the skibbity chance? You would. Now, how's it going, homie? How you doing? Ready to watch me throw this run? Because I'm about to do it. I know these two are lying. There are two pairs of evil. You know what? I don't like that possibility. Fuck. Yeah, it was the 50-50. It was the worst outcome. That absolutely sucks. It's alright. We got more chances. We still got 3 more tries to get through this village. Hanging in there? I feel that. Hell yeah. I'm happy to hear it. A baker, you say? There should only be one baker. Well, no. They're not going to be cloned by a shaman. There should be only one real baker then. Like, original baker. Lewis is going to be whacking people. Yeah, it was good, Fox. Welcome in. Where's the candlestick maker? Somewhere in the parlor. He's probably going next, honestly. The baker and the drunk are going first. I can tell you that right now. If anybody's getting whacked here. Oh, hey. That's not very cash money. Both sides are equally evil. Well, except that one. That one was alright. Dang, well, I'll just hang out with Goldie and Zephyr. Hell yeah. Love to see it. That will take my damage. You were an architect. You were the first baker that I flipped. What do you mean you were an architect? That sounds like heresy. Are you lying to me right now, Baker? Yeah, what? Just for chat's enjoyment. Hey, imagine. Both sides are equally evil. Oh, Goldie was playing Nier. I need to play Nier. I need to go and play Nier Automata at some point. That game's phenomenal, and I know it is. Lewis is 2 cards from the closest evil. Closest evil is equidistant. That's an interesting one. That would mean... Unless you're surrounded. It can't be... I think that... It could just be lying as well. Is there any corruption in play? I need to check that. Any corruption, any cloning of any sort. There's not cloning besides Baker. Bullshit. There's not corruption. So if someone's lying, they're big sus. One is evil, 3, 8, or 7. Shit. They're both saying the same thing, but one of them is evil. Wait, how does that work? Does that mean they're both evil? Hold on. 8's clear. I guess 3 or 7 aren't clear yet. Please don't burn the village down yet. I've almost saved it. Y'all gotta believe me. That means one of these is the... Do you only corrupt a villager? One adjacent villager becomes a puppet if possible. I see. Does that mean your ability's just not gonna work no matter what? Does that mean... Because he can't hit a wretch, I don't think. He can't hit an outcast into a puppet. Yeah. Sorry, bud. Interesting. So that's 2 evils found. 2 minions and 1 demon, but 1 minion makes another minion? Yeah, evil minion. Can only be created by the puppeteer. Disguised as a villager, and I don't lie. Puppets are such a cool concept. I love the puppeteer. That's a fun one. Lilith is 2 cards away from the closest evil. Where she's a puppeteer, yeah. I was not aware that Cersei was actually going to be in this game, so that was nice. Think Slayer ability still works then? Maybe? I mean, it's still there. Holy shit, it does. Good call. I mean, we take the free 50-50. So yeah, that only doesn't work if he's lying. You're absolutely right. Good shit, Reap. Good looking out. 8, 3, or 7. That means if that's a lie, then the other Empress is also lying, right? Would that make both sides equally evil? Does that work? Yeah, because that would put 1 in the middle, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Counting the wretch. Closest equal is evil is equidistant. Hey, would you look at that? 2 cards away from the closest evil. Yep. It just tracks. That one was fun. That was good. Getting kind of hungry. I would like to make dinner sometime soon, but I think I am going to go ahead and... Or we'll do a couple more. I can do a few more rounds. Game fun. Oh, let's see. So any reason I can't flip. Lois is going to start killing, but I can be flipping. Shaman makes a clone. Plague Doc has 1 corruption. She's dizzy. There's 2 Plague Docs. That's not very cash money. Yeah, you only clone a villager. So one of you is not okay. Take our damage. That's fine. We need our information. 9 is a real Plague Doctor. Interesting. We can get some information off that. Left side is more evil. 4 is a real architect. Shaman, Lois, and 1 a minion. Okay, so they're basically all just minions right now. There's no special like effects in play at that point. Just 1 corruption. 1 Sally Whittle corruption. Where's a real architect that says left side is more evil? 9 is a real Plague Doctor. I think we should use 9's ability to check something. I'd like to use Slayer's ability as well. Before, if I try to, like, see if he's corrupt or something. Let's just do it in this order. Couldn't kill 2, so... Pin in that. You're also... You could be okay. Hey, are they corrupted? 1 is not corrupted. Thank you for the follow, Reap. I appreciate it. Very cool, very cool. Happy to have you. Appreciate you listening to me bumble on like an idiot.
Nut.
Big nut. Let's go. 1 is not corrupted. So let's
Have confidence.
Oh my god. I'm just glad sound alerts are working again, honestly. Thank you, Karone. I will do my best. So let's operate under the assumption that this Plague Doctor is telling the truth. Let's run that scenario real quick. Big fish, let's go. Yo, I should also... Why am I not fishing? What's wrong with me? Hey, what a little diamond was caught in this lorry earlier. I need to be on that shit. Alright, well, let's run the scenario. Plague Doc. Let's say he's good. That means that 6 is also clean. The rest of these are minions. There are no special effects of them. There is 1 real clone. We didn't see what 5 was. What villager are we not seeing? I think we see all villagers here. Did we not get a scout? We didn't get a scout, so they might have been the one that got whacked. Chance with the big cone. Let's go. Hang on, I want to see what I get from fishing really quick. Survey says... Big sailfish. Huge. Let's go. I'm gonna turn that into a great sword and monster hunter. Freeze it. But yeah, hear me out. If 9 is telling the truth... He's not corrupted. He could be evil if... I mean, he could still be evil and lying. I guess, so it doesn't clear him, and it doesn't clear the Confessor. Let's use your ability. Two is corrupted and 8 is evil, is what you're saying. Okay, this gives me information at least. And by that I mean we're about to kill somebody. It's probably not going to be right, but it will give us more information. I have distracted you from all the tasks you were supposed to do today. Let's go! Just doing my job. I will be everybody's stim distraction. We actually do have games on our phone here. And by on our phone, I mean in chat. You need for Con Thursday? Third day? Okay, I'm... God. Okay. Should you make a mistake and play Yu-Gi-Oh? Yes, send it. Full send. And I don't have everything to recognize. I'm sure it'll be fine. What's today? Sunday? You got a week, basically, right? That's basically 8 days or something. I don't know. It'll be fine. My brain is slowly liquefying playing this game, alright. Need to cut me some slack. We will get information if we kill someone based off of 3's deduction here, or 3's word here. Eight is evil, 2 is corrupted. So if 2 is corrupted, 8 is evil. Can you be? Yeah, game start there are 2 village rolls in current. We didn't get to see what 5 was, but it's looking like it was probably a scout. So 5, let's just, again, running scenario here. You're good, you're good. 5's the scout. That would mean that you're good. I think this Plague Doctor's bullshit. I think this one's evil. And if not, then we have information anyway. I want to go this way. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Because we knew one of them was evil. It's not corrupted. I guess the other one could technically also be. Because I think these guys just got cloned by the shaman. Be my guess. Unless there was like a third medium here or something. You know what I mean? But we didn't see the scout, so. Not corrupted. Who else do I think might be evil? Maybe the Confessor. There's only one corruption in play, right? From the Plague Doc, yeah. 4 is a real architect. Left side is more evil. That would mean that the remaining 2 have to be... That would mean they literally have to be 2 of these 3. 9 is a real Plague Doctor is cleared. The gesture tells me how many of each character is evil. And I have good information that these 2 are solid. So let's do this. There's 0 evils. That could very well be true, actually. And if that's the case, the architect could be lying. I didn't test 8, did I? I did test 8. So there's 0 evils. So if that's the case, we can say that this is... There's no way this is a real architect, then. If this medium is telling the truth. Are you hiding an evil from me? Are they literally both right here? Is that it? Is the Slayer good and he couldn't kill the Confessor because the Confessor's corrupted? Is that what's going on here? Is that what I am led to believe? That's what it's looking like. Well, time to kill a medium and see if a Jester's lying. No. Okay, so the Jester was telling the truth. Which means this Architect is lying. Right? Jester's good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, so this Architect is lying. What? It was corrupted! No! Oh, shit. Okay, fuck. That's rough. Both of them were together, that's why. Shit. Alright, good start for Ascension 8. Yippee. Ba and a Puppeteer, that's not too bad. No, big rip. We'll do another round. Why not? After all, why shouldn't I? Alright, you're dizzy. That's not good. Is there any corruption in play? There's a Plague Doctor in play. You can't lie. You're saying one is good. Hey. Are they corrupted? One is not corrupted? Is that right? Well. You're good. Alright, you check out. Evils are not adjacent to that's actually just a lie. I know for a fact that's a lie. So let's test the judge on you. 2 is lying. You're good. You're either corrupted or evil. 1 is good. Well, that's also a lie. I found a few liars in here. Isn't that fun? There are no hiding outcasts, however. Yeah, one of you's the Puppeteer. It would be really funny if it was the poet just saying, oh no, this is just my son. Evils are not adjacent to each other. That's just a lie. You're good. Neither are evil. Since we cleared these two, we can see if you're good. Evil, false? Okay, you're cool. I'm narrowing it down. What if random outcast is among them, if any? Hey, are you good? There's Plague Doctor. You're good. Okay. So we have Ba's in there somewhere. He knocked the Wretch out. We have 3 cards left. We have to find Ba, and we have to find the Puppeteer. So theoretically, I can just start swinging. But I'd prefer to not kill an innocent villager if I can. I guess. Really funny if I did, though. I don't think there's any way, with the way things are currently set up, that I can tell which one is corrupted. So I'm gonna go with this theory because I think it's funny. Yeah, the Puppeteer literally just walking around with his son. Yeah, this is just my child. Don't worry about it. It's not even, no logic behind it. Literally just funny. And then one of you is corrupted, and the other one is a goat man. I want to believe in you, Confessor. Sorry, Confessor. You weren't real. Poisoner, Shaman, Ba, Doppelganger, Plague Doctor. This looks like hell, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream here. I will end there. I'm getting very hungry. I need to make dinner anyway, and I need to stop pushing and distracting myself. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's see if we can find somebody else playing this though, because this game is amazing, and I would like to see more of it myself. I hope you guys would too. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So let's see. Demon Bluff. Who else is streaming this right now? Got a few other people right now. Nothing looks particularly standoutish about any of these. That one's not even playing Demon Bluff. That one's playing, it looks like Doom. Oh, that's Deep Rock Galactic. Never mind. So that's one. That's one crossed off. Jesus Christ. Let's see what else we can find. Anything spicy going on? Well, I guess I'll leave it to you. Chat, do you guys have anybody for me to raid out to right now? If you have suggestions, I am all ears. It's always nice to meet new people as well, so branching out community-wise is very fun. Watching with no sound? Oh, God. Ghost, I'm sorry. We're literally just about to raid out. They have no idea. The timing. Yeah, we're trying to find someone to raid out to right now. How about this? I will make extra dinner and throw it at you. I got you. It'll arrive eventually. Be ready. Hope you got hands. See if anybody has anybody they would like me to raid out to. If not, I am going to just peruse in the meantime and see if I find anything interesting. Anything that catches my eye. Inspector Nestor doing some repo with friends. I think I'm following them actually. Am I? Yeah, I sure am. Let's see here. Yeah, repo's always a good time too. That'll probably be nice. Hopefully they'll still be going for a bit. Do some share chat too. Let's see. Anything else here? Was playing Peak for achievements with friends as well. I could coin flip. We gotta flip a coin. Coin flip has come up for Inspector Nestor. So today we will send it over to him. Looks like they're having a good time. Please go show him some love. Hit him with the bear raid. Let him know we're here. And I will see you guys soon, hopefully. Possibly with more of this. Possibly with more Spyro as I go into Year of the Dragon and probably have to reset because I managed to fuck up a small jump again. But that never happens, right? Okay, bye.
Reaper's coming. I'm gonna play Tookie with her.